You're listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome everyone to Cult of Campbell. I'm Ty.
I'm
Ben.
Eric.
I'm Bailey.
Ursa.
Fuck you. You already ruined it.
I know. I guess so. It was my fault. It was.
I didn't know we
Already.
were introducing ourselves.
Ruined.
Ian
Yeah.
typically does it for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Bailey's
this is Bailey's
very
first Cult of Campbell.
time on the Cult of Campbell.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, you lift your own weight around here on this
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
that's
was
how
unaware.
yeah, we don't have Ian to just training wheels us through
Yeah.
it.
I just showed up,
Ian's
man.
not holding your hand on this
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was supposed to work. Damn it. Whoops. This is
This
going to
the
be
working man
interesting.
show.
Yeah.
We celebrate blue collar heroes on this show.
Is that why Ursa's on it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
let me know how that blue collar goes down while you're DJing for those drag queens, Ty.
Hey, man's got to make a buck somehow, right?
Hey, I'd push play on Spotify for that.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
listen,
all I do.
Look,
That's all I do.
that is not a critique.
That
Not
is
at
literally all I do. I plug a aux cord into my phone, and they tell me what song play. I hit play on Spotify, and then an hour and $50. Boom.
Hey,
Boom.
and not a bad way to spend your evening if you're not doing anything.
No,
else.
it's all
Yeah.
extra money. I got like $2,000 in my safe just so I take those 50s and I just put it right in my safe. And it's like been doing it for 3 months. So it's extra money. Just throw it
right,
in there.
right next
There
to
you
his
go.
goddamn stack of Mario DVDs.
Yep. Yeah.
How many of those are you up
Keeping
to
it warm in there. Got to insulate the Mario DVDs.
Give them some dollar bill blankets.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yep.
You know what's sad?
It's Bulgaria money.
The money that those movies are sitting next to in the safe is more than that any of those movies ever saw, including like the theater release.
Those movies can see what it could have made. Like, if you had just been better.
Oh, you just wait. We're doing Aliens for your birthday. Wait till my birthday comes up.
Oh, no.
God. So
We're just-
I will say that Mario Brothers is as close to complete dog shit as I can watch and still enjoy.
Tyler, we're skipping your birthday.
You weren't born; you were made in a lab. Shut up.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right, let's do this.
Well, we're here on Call to Campbell, and what are we doing today? What's the subject of today's episode?
We're doing Congo, motherfucker.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we're doing the big budget '90s blockbuster, hot off the heels of Jurassic Park. It's Michael Crichton's Congo.
To be honest, I thought this was that other gorilla movie.
What other gorilla movie?
What was it called where they go to the jungle and meet that fucking gorilla that's really smart?
Oh, Mighty Joe.
Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought? Yeah.
With the giant gorilla?
Yeah, it was huge.
It's not a giant. It's not a giant, is it? They're just like slightly larger. Like,
Slightly
it's like
larger? Are you out of your mind? If you saw a gorilla that was looking over the top of your truck, you'd shit a brick.
Is it giant in that movie?
The whole
Is
movie,
it?
like, where
It's
where
like
is
it's
the
like
giant one?
It's like 8 foot tall.
It is big.
Well,
I can see it in the movie
huge.
poster that it's big. It's like
Yeah,
bigger than
it's
my
like
cars and
it's like
shit.
8
It's
foot at the
walking
head,
around.
man. It's like a little King Kong.
Eric, look that up
I've
really
never
quick. I have
seen
to
it.
see a
50,
comparison.
I've
a
never
legendary
seen it.
15-foot tall mountain gorilla named Joe. Yeah.
15 foot. Okay,
Oh, wow.
there you go.
I guess I don't know because I just watched the Peter Jackson King Kong like just the other day. I didn't realize that King Kong's only 25 foot in that movie, which
Yeah.
I guess only. I mean, it's still
Really?
pretty fucking big, but I mean,
Yeah, but
like I don't know. I thought he was like gigantic, like from like our the current King Kong. It's like
oh God, no,
you know,
Mhm.
no.
buildings high.
So he's like
Yeah.
the one in Peter Jackson is actually 5 foot shorter than the crocodile in Lake Placid,
Wow.
Oh wow,
That's interesting.
and
cow.
which means it's 6
Fun
foot.
fact.
It's 6 foot shorter than the main shark of Deep Blue Sea, because they made the
oh there we go.
they specifically on purpose made the shark in Deep Blue Sea like 1 foot longer than the one in Jaws, so they could see
Yep.
that it was
Yeah. That was Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of okay.
Oh,
That-
it was good natured. The
Yeah.
director was
Oh,
very
okay.
open about
Oh,
it.
okay.
God.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said,
He
"I
was-
just,
yeah,
he
Rennie
goes,
Harlan,
I
yeah.
just wanted to be able to say that my shark was 1 foot bigger."
I love that last shark. That movie. The last shark is magnificent looking. The rest of the movie, for some reason, the sharks look like shit. But that last that final act, that big shark they have is fantastic.
Yeah, but I still think Deep Blue Sea pretty much holds. It's. I mean, it looked. I like it. I still
Yeah.
like it.
It's everybody's pick for second best shark movie, but it's like
Yeah.
What else you gonna put in there? Anytime I see a list of like 50 best shark movies, like it's gonna be Jaws, and then preceding that is Deep Blue Sea. Because what else you gonna put in it? It's not like
Tyler,
shark
I don't know.
movies have a
I
plethora
feel like you'd put Sharknado pretty high on that list, though.
No,
Tyler.
Sharknado's terrible.
Okay,
Sharknado 2,
there's still
Sharknado
faith.
2
There's
is
still
pretty
hope.
good.
Sharknado 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. But Sharknado 1 is boring as hell. But Sharknado 2 is pretty solid.
Those
I
are
recommend
some-
Sharknado 2 to let people off.
How many of those movies did they make?
like
six.
5,
6.
They made
6,
6
Yeah,
Sharknadoes.
6 of them. Yeah, 5 of the 6 are pretty good.
5.
That's 5 out of the 6 are good. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they're pretty solid flicks.
Oh, fuck off, Tyler.
They are. They're fun.
Oh my
I
God.
enjoy them.
Oh my god.
I just don't like the first one.
how-
The first one's boring. The first one didn't have any direction, and
I
the
thought-
second one they cut the wheels started catching
The
tread.
wind in their sails picked up.
Yeah, you picked up in the
Michael
second one.
said.
Yeah,
I swear to God. I swear to God, over this show, I thought I'd ask Ursa this before Tyler. But Tyler, how the fuck are we friends?
I like all kinds of movies.
Oh, shut up. You do not.
I have a very eclectic taste. In movies.
That eclectic is a good word for it.
I mean, sometimes there's some good things in the trash can, I guess.
Oh yeah. Didn't hear one complain about Bubba Hotep.
That's true.
That was
I
true.
always have that
Bubba
one.
You
Hotep
will.
was a good
You
one.
will.
Mhm.
Tyler will always have Bubba Hotep.
Yep.
That's like the little
The
candle that
shining-
keeps him warm. At
Yep.
night.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
always
like-
have that one.
He's just
Aw.
laying curled up. He's like,
You know what?
They liked one.
I kind of, I've been struggling with what to say at Tyler's funeral. You know, be like,
There you
just
go.
get up there in front of everybody and be like, he'll always have Bubba Hotep.
Is there
Yeah.
something I don't know about Tyler?
There's a lot.
Like-
I
Yeah.
bet there's a lot we don't know about Tyler.
Oh, probably.
Oh yeah, just wait till they lower that casket made of Mario Brothers DVDs, and you can speak right after Billy Zane.
right after Billy Zane.
Hey, listen,
Oh,
by that
boy.
time, my star power will probably be equivalent to Billy Zane.
Hey, you don't have much more to go.
Oh my.
We peak at 50 downloads on this episode, and I think you already made it. We're gonna. What about Congo?
I was going to say, what are we doing? I love
We're
this
11
movie.
minutes in. Let's talk
Oh,
about the
yeah.
movie, guys.
Yeah, so Congo. This was I think a lot of people had high hopes for this because it came right off the heels of Jurassic Park.
Mhm.
Right.
Michael Crichton, that was one of his penned novels.
Right.
So what better way than to make bank than to take another Michael Crichton adventure movie and turn it into the next big summer blockbuster?
right.
Said a studio executive as they signed off on Congo. Which who all was in Congo? Because it's a pretty robust cast.
Yeah, so we've got Laura Linney as Dr. Karen Ross. We've got Dylan Walsh as Dr. Peter Elliott. We got my man Ernie Hudson as Captain Monroe Kelly. We've got the always great, effervescent Tim Curry as Herkimer Homoka. And the rest of them don't matter. Eat a dick.
Yeah. But Bruce Campbell as well.
Oh, yeah.
The reason we're watching this
He's-
movie on the Cult of Campbell.
He's kind of in it.
He's in there. He bookends the movie.
Yeah.
Kinda.
He does
He
not
does.
book in the movie.
Oh, he
Kinda
pops up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
okay.
God.
Okay.
not as much popped up.
Yeah, a little less lively than we're used to, but he's
Yeah,
there.
A little less lively.
No.
Yes. And
Bruce
this-
Campbell's in it. I mean, he's there. He made a hell of a payday on this, from what I hear from his appearances at different conventions.
Oh yes.
He made bank. People always ask him like why he did this movie, and he'll explain like why would you have said no?
Yeah.
It's the 90s. It's Crichton. I think Spielberg produced this. I think was part of it, executive producer on this.
I
We
want-
have producing it was Kathleen Kennedy and Sam
that?
Mercer.
Lizard person.
Who's that?
It's the Antichrist.
I'm not. Yeah, like one of the worst things to happen to Disney at this
Oh.
point. But
Which, how bad is it when you say this happened to Disney, not because of Disney?
To Disney.
Like, that gives you the idea of the kind of leech we're talking about. Like, that's like when you find out that somebody you really doesn't like has, like, anal cancer. You're like, boy, that cancer's a real cunt.
so the screenplay was by John Patrick Shanley.
Now,
and
he's
Frank Marshall directed.
now John Patrick Shanley, isn't he like he's pretty prominent? Has he name sounds really
Let
familiar?
me see. What do we got? Playwright, screenwriter, director, Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Moonstruck.
Oh, nice. I've seen Moonstruck.
Ooh, he does have a bunch of awards. Let me go to his
There we go. So
filmography.
they really did pack some power in this movie. Like,
Yeah,
I
this
can
was-
tell they thought this was going to be a bigger hit than what it actually was.
Yeah.
Which it didn't fail. Like, it wasn't like a huge flop. But I think the rule of thumb with movies is it has to be 1.5 times the budget to be considered successful.
Right.
I think that's the
Might
rule
be
of thumb.
I think that sounds right.
It sounds right.
Yeah.
So
Or
I think it just scratched, like it wasn't like a hit. I think was the main thing.
Yeah, because its budget was what, 50 million. It looks like.
Yeah, 50 million.
Box office, it said it did 152 million. So it
Oh,
just
nice.
kind of barely scraped that mark. Then, you know
Right,
what I mean? If we're kind of going by the standard you brought up,
So it
So
was
that's not
they
bad.
barely
it
made
was
it.
successful,
Yeah,
but
they made it.
Yeah, but I imagine.
U.S. and Canada, they only made 81.
Oh, okay. So they were probably expecting. I imagine there was a lot of like they were expecting Jurassic Park stuff with this. Is what I imagine.
which for the life of me, I don't know why. Like the stories are nothing alike.
No, nothing.
No.
But watching
They
the
didn't
movie,
have
you could tell
Jurassic
that they
Park
kinda wanted
effects
it.
or Jurassic Park writing or Jurassic
No.
Park.
Well,
It's a fun little adventure.
Well, I will
I
say
mean,
this: they actually tried to do Jurassic Park graphics, and that was the original intention. But they actually found out that the machine couldn't render fur, so they didn't have the option.
mm,
It wasn't
the
that they didn't
program
try.
That they tried to use that they
Yeah,
used
I was-
for Jurassic Park couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
As I was looking at the IMDb page, I see the lady that played Amy the gorilla.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I feel bad for walking around in a shitty ape costume on her hands and knees, but
That would be terrible. Yes.
yeah. But she's in like a shit ton of stuff, like The Mandalorian.
oh yeah,
Oh wow.
Hunger Games.
Oh. Is
Oh,
she
she's
like
pretty
the
prominent.
kind of actor that does like
Yes.
body acting and stuff?
like yeah, she's like an
I-
Andy
Yeah,
Circus type.
A lot of
I-
motion
yeah.
cap stuff.
I actually-
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
I actually think she was a ballerina or a
Okay,
dancer.
that
when-
makes sense.
When they were originally cast her as Amy.
Okay. Oh,
I
cool.
could be
have
wrong.
a
She
lot
played
of respect for
she
those
played a
kind of actors.
ballerina at some point.
Or maybe-
Oh, nice.
I read here.
So is
Wow.
it
So
let's
the
go
is
ahead
it the
and,
Lola No?
What is it?
Lola No.
Lola, no.
Misty
Maybe.
Rosas.
Oh, yep. Because
Oh, Frank
there's
Welker.
two people that played Amy
That are
Taylor.
credited for Amy. Yeah.
One I think is the voice.
Oh, that would make sense.
They got a voice actor for that. I thought they would just use like you remember that thing in the 90s that was down in your dashboard that you could just click on and type in and it would speech to text for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just assumed that's what they did.
No,
Maybe it was copyrighted.
No, you're still gonna want to have somebody actually record those lines because there are inflections in her voice if you listen.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
buried, but
Yeah.
they're in there.
Like when she
That's
says
right.
ugly woman, ugly woman.
And then when she says "go away" at the
Mhm.
gorillas, there's a definite angry tint to it.
Yeah, so it's the voice actress is someone named Sheena Fox,
yeah.
and she
Okay.
was her other most notable thing is Reggie from Rocket Power. That's her next most.
Huh.
But she's done a lot. She's done a lot though. Looks like a lot of Rock Power. And then apparently she had a series called The Oz Kids that she was a big part of.
The Oz Kids.
But mainly Rocket
That
Power.
sounds
That's her big
familiar.
thing is Rocket Power.
I used to watch Rocket Power.
Oh, I
Good
love
show.
Rocket
That was a
Power.
I
cool
have
show.
it.
And then Frank Welker did all the voice of the gorillas. And Frank Welker does the voice of everything ever and anything.
That makes sense.
Just
He's
everything ever.
he's just a voice guy. He does like everything. Like there'll be movie like I watched fucking Python the other day, and he did the fucking the snarls of the fucking python, the fucking shitty CGI snake in that movie. I mean, he does fucking everything. He's the third highest grossing actor of all time
Jesus.
Nice.
Wow.
because he literally does everything. Like if you hear like a cartoon voice and something, it's probably
It's
him. Like,
probably
he's
him?
fucking
Jeez.
everything.
Well, that's
He
not
did all the
fair.
Martians and Mars Attacks and shit. Like
Oh, dude,
Oh.
that's a movie the cult needs to do at some
Ooh,
point.
yes.
oh, I would love
Oh,
Mars
that.
great
Attacks
movie.
is a goddamn masterpiece of ridiculousness.
I love that movie.
Everybody.
But let's go ahead and let's talk about the movie we're here to watch today, Congo. What do
Okay.
we do here? Bailey, what do we do at this part?
Ooh.
See if you've been listening.
We prepped you. We trained you.
no,
All
you
those,
didn't,
I
you
told you to
bitch.
listen to all of those episodes for a reason. What do we say right here?
Let's
What
get
is it?
groovy. Let's get Campbell.
we fucked it up. You had it right
You
on
had
the
it right
first
the
time. If
first
you'd have
time.
just said
You looked at me like I was wrong, and I was like, "What the fuck? Let's get groovy.
Give it a second shot. Give it a
Let's
second
get
shot.
groovy.
Do it.
Let's get groovy."
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. Cult of Campbell.
Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
Congo. I guess, Ben, what was your first time watching Congo?
So I remember very little about the first time I watched this. I remember we watched it on DirecTV when, that was a big thing back in the day. And the only thing I legitimately remember about the first time watching it is I was really anxious that Amy didn't die. I remember I was concerned about that as a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always concerned about animals in movies.
Yeah.
I have a website I go to called Does the Dog Die?
Ooh,
And as soon as a movie comes on, there's an animal in it, I type in the movie and it'll tell you like yes or no and what time and the timestamp when it happens.
So you
And
can
because I hate seeing that.
protect yourself.
Did you
from seeing
check?
that in
Did
a
you
movie.
check out
It's called
John Wick?
Does the Dog Die? There's John Wick. Yeah. Now I knew going into John Wick what happened that, but yeah, I always look it up as soon as it does the dog die. You type in any movie, it'll tell you if the animal dies, what animal dies, gives you a timestamp, everything. So does the dog die.com.
Ty, have you seen
There you go,
Love and
folks.
Monsters?
I have not yet.
You should watch it.
I keep meaning to. It's on Hulu. Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Hulu. I keep meaning to watch it.
It is a good one,
It is a good one. It's got a dog in it.
and it does not die.
It does not die.
Does it die? Okay,
No,
good.
because
Okay,
I get very anxious about that. DoesTheDogDie.com. I'm
Mhm.
going to be visiting that quite frequently.
Oh, it's on my homepage. Like on my.
Oh
I have,
my
like, saved on
God.
my, like,
Dude,
Of
home
course
screen
it
when
is.
I'm
I set Bailey up so bad
Oh.
one time. I set her up. We were watching Turner and Hooch.
Yep.
Oh.
She had never watched it, never heard of it, didn't know nothing about it. We got about halfway through it, and then I was working night shift at the time, so I was just like, "Well, I got to go to bed. Have a good night."
Didn't
babe."
warn me.
Nope, nothing. Just walked off cold. When I got up for work, she just looks at me. She's like, "That ending was fucked up."
I was so pissed off. So upset.
That's terrible.
I was like, what?
But
What-
I love Turner.
So what about you? What about you, Bailey? First time watching it?
The first time I ever watched this movie was actually with Ben. And
That's what I figured, yeah.
I love this movie. It is so sweet. You get like a full character like development with Amy and everything. It's awesome. I love it. Ursa.
Eric, what about you? Urs. Yeah, Urs.
Sorry.
I watched it last night. I thought I watched it as a kid, but it turned out that was not the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yep. You thought it was Mighty
Really?
Joe.
Yeah, that movie is Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which I've seen.
got
I liked
confused.
that movie too. That was another good gorilla movie.
Does it is it exactly like King Kong? Does the gorilla die at the end?
No.
90s was all
Oh.
about some monkeys and gorillas.
Well, hey, I'll tell you one thing. It's got Bill Paxton in it, as I recall,
Yeah,
nice.
that's
which
right.
that's always a plus.
Yeah.
Is it a James Cameron movie?
I think so.
I wouldn't
That's
be
what I
surprised
figured.
by that. Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you think of it?
I watched this. I was like a kid, but I don't think I watched it till much later. Because I had my first introduction to movies. I had the action figures before I
Oh.
even saw I had the action figures for years before I even saw the movie, and it really kind of set me up for failure watching the movie because action figures were sick. They had fucking jeeps with guns on them and shit, and the fucking girl character. She had a mini gun with a diamond in it and shit, and
Yeah.
I had those playing with them. And I'm like, oh, there's that movie I have the toys for, and I watch it, and it's like, where the fuck's the
Did you have any
goddamn,
Jurassic Park toys?
yeah, I had the Jurassic Park toys.
You didn't
but I had
notice you didn't notice they did the same thing?
That's
when I was a kid, I didn't understand marketing. I wasn't. I didn't understand how they were marketing things to me.
Where's the diamond encrusted minigun? God damn
Yeah,
it.
where the fuck's the diamond minigun? This
Thank
bitch
God,
is shooting a laser.
it was not part of this movie.
Yeah. I guess they took the weapon at the end and just kind of embellished it because
Yeah.
she does do some diamond gun bullshit at the end, but
Yeah.
I mean it just kind of set me up for failure because they had I had a truck that they had and a Jeep and fucking motorcycles and shit and none of that was in the movie, which I was expecting oh, this would be the part where they get the fucking gun truck or whatever, and it never happened. But
I see the problem. Yeah. You had
but I still really liked this movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Even watching it here, I literally just watched it 2 hours ago. I don't hate the movie at all. It's a good movie. It's a decent movie. I don't think it's something I'll watch a lot, but I mean it was fun. It's a cool little adventure movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more set pieces I remember being in it.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
totally forgot about a lot of the set pieces.
This movie's got
Yeah.
a shit ton of practical effects on it.
Yeah, and they do really good about hitting a beat every few minutes. You got something happening.
Yeah.
I was thinking before I watched this, I'd only remembered the gorillas, and I
Right.
then were thinking about. I was like, man, they really missed an opportunity to add more which I still feel like they could have. Like I was probably budget everything. They should have added more
More
I
of those
guess,
gorillas.
natural dangers.
Oh,
More natural
I see
because
what you mean.
they have like the one scene in the boats and shit like that. But like I feel like leading up to it, they could have probably added some more shit in there. But I
That
don't
would
fucking
be
know. I don't know what.
Scary.
Those
Oh,
Inflatable
yeah.
raft
Oh, my
under a
gosh.
hippo attack.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck
Wouldn't you
that.
just like sign off your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
I
god,
mean, I
I'd
don't
shit
know what else
myself.
you
That's what I'd
could
do.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with that scene too.
Yeah.
That was very Jurassic Park esque. I feel like that was
Yeah, they were probably like, we need him to be attacked by something in the water.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like that was something because I know the original Jurassic Park script. There's a that whole scene in the third movie with the Spinosaurus and the boat. Like that's supposed to happen in the first movie with the T-Rex.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like that's in the original script. Like you can find like fucking what do they call it?
like the old drafts of it or something.
Yeah, you can find the drafts, but you can also find where they actually like drew it out and shit. What are those called?
Oh,
I forget. I'm drawing a blank.
They storyboarded. Yeah.
Storyboards. Yeah, they storyboarded it out and shit. Where like Grant and the kids would get on a raft and they go in the river and the T-Rex, swims up and attacks them. Like that's all in the original script and
Oh, interesting.
never made it in.
That's
I think
really
it's in the
cool.
video games too, like the old Super Nintendo video game. I think it's a
Right.
whole thing of that.
To my understanding, like the old video game followed the original script a lot more.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty neat.
I would imagine they probably had to because video games took so long
Yeah,
back then. They probably had
jump
to.
on it.
They had to start before the film was finished.
Yeah.
And I think the second one followed up on like the shaving cream can. Like they
Oh.
closed that.
Really?
that
Oh
whole-
no, there's another
Plot
game
thing.
called Jurassic Park Trespasser, and that one follows. That one's like picks up with a girl getting on the island, and like she's part of an engine, and she's supposed to find the Barbasol can.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Oh,
There's-
interesting.
See, I just
What a
never felt the need for there to be a wrap up to that. I thought it was pretty well wrapped up. Like, there's no
Oh, yeah.
goddamn way somebody's gonna find that can and yeah, it keeps them cool in it. But they specifically said for 36 hours, and then after that, they're fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know even like they talked about the new movie being about someone going to the island and getting the Barbasol can. But it's like in the first movie, it like tells them that it
Yep.
only lasts like 2 days.
Oh yeah, you could fucking plot hole the shit out of that too. Oh no, it got covered in mud and it preserved it.
Oh my!
Ah, yeah, it was
God.
cold
Well,
mud.
I mean,
Mud.
these new ones are getting bad enough to attempt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Eric talked about that new one on one of the episodes
Oh,
of like the new
yeah.
episode of Ash vs Evil Dead about
Yep.
the fucking and non-essential trilogies that people like to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like that last movie was just literally like the first act of a movie. They just
Yeah.
stretch it out to 2 hours.
Well, that one
So
where
that's-
they go
so
to
they
the,
can-
where they're like auctioning off dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really bad.
All that movie was made the sole purpose of like now we need to show how the dinosaurs get off the island. That's all it was. It was the first act of a movie. They stretched it out full length so they can have a trilogy because everything's got to be a fucking trilogy.
Yeah.
You can't have just 2 goddamn movies now or one goddamn movie.
It's
gotta
the
be a
Hobbit all
trilogy.
over again.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
stretched out The Hobbit to know it.
Right.
That was.
And I was talking too. The only thing I hate worse than the trilogies is the fucking quadrilogies where they take the third movie and stretch it out to where
Yeah.
it's got to be
Oh,
2
yeah, we got to
goddamn
do
movies.
that in 2
Fucking
parts.
hate
Yeah.
that. Hate
Yep.
that shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad that kind of died off though. That was like a big thing. Like
Well,
during,
'cause
like, the
people did
Twilight
keep
shit
calling
and the
out some
YA
big
stuff.
movies on that, like the Harry Potter and the Twilight. Like
Yeah, but
everyone
there
calling
was
that shit
one-
out.
From what I understand, the Harry Potter one actually makes sense.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yeah.
yeah,
that's a pretty beefy book anyways. Like those are
It was. Yeah, there was a lot to put into it.
And I remember, for the life of me, I can't in my brain pull up what movie it is. But there was a movie series that happened where they're like, nope, we're just doing one final movie. And I was like, guys, I know you don't want to do the part 1 and part 2, but this really needs it. God damn it, I can't remember what it was though.
Isn't it terrible? The wrong ones are getting the budgets for the part 1s.
Oh,
part
yeah.
2s, it seems.
I think
Yeah.
Dune is doing it particularly well.
Are they? I haven't.
Yeah.
The pacing on Dune was really good, actually.
Oh, yeah?
So
With
the
book.
writing process they're doing
Ooh.
with Dune is they're breaking every book down into 2 movies, and each movie is going to end to where if they don't do another one, it's a closed loop.
that's smart.
Huh. Okay.
But I feel like Dune's
Nice.
one of those franchises you can pretty much
That's a good way
guarantee
to
is
do
going to at least make money. You know what I mean?
Not,
Dune.
But
well, I mean,
that's
this is
still
like,
smart of them to do though.
Huge.
Yeah, that's still smart of them to do.
yeah.
I that's how I would do any book series like that. I think.
Right. But Congo, we get to see Bruce right off the bat.
Yep.
Mhm.
We don't have to wait for
we
him
kick
at all.
off. We don't have to wait for Bruce in this one.
Nope.
We get
But he
some
still
beautiful.
He still gets to be pretty Brucey in this though.
He
He
really
does.
did.
I was
Yeah.
very impressed. I had not seen this in years, and I was like trying to remember what Bruce did in it
Uh-huh.
because I only remember like the scene of him like turn around and screaming. That's all I
Yeah.
remembered.
Yeah.
I didn't remember him like be on the phone call and like having a relationship with Dr. Ross. I didn't remember, or being the son of the douchebag guy,
whatever. Yeah,
Travis.
I didn't remember that at all.
That guy was a grade A cunt, huh?
He was, yeah. Joe Don Baker.
Yeah.
He's legendary.
He's a good yeller. He's a good yeller. Oh,
Yeah.
legendary yeller.
The Yeller was.
I
good.
bet you he played like police chief a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, he did, man. He has this great movie. It's by my standards. It's called Final Justice. It's a
Oh,
western
my
that they
God.
shot in Italy, like a modern day western.
Oh, it was a
Where his-
spaghetti western.
Well, not even like it took place in the 80s, and this mafia guy kills his
God.
partner, and then he goes over to Italy to track down the mafia, and it's just the cheesiest just piece of shit. Like he's all fat and out of shape, but still trying to be a badass.
Yeah,
in
but
it. Like
kicking ass.
they can't show him fighting because he's so out of shape. So
Oh
like,
no.
it's all like tight shots of fists hitting faces and boots hitting
Jesus.
people in the back and shit, and him just trying not to sweat through whatever they put him in. And like,
That does sound like your cup of tea.
oh man, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. You want to take me on? That's what he yells all the time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you want to take me on? That's what he says all the
catchphrase.
It's fantastic. That's that was back in the 80s, and he was all fucking out of shape and shit. But he was in Walking Tall. That was his big thing. The movie that The Rock ended up remaking.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was he in the original or the remake?
He was in.
No, he's the original. He's the
okay.
original character that The Rock ends up playing. Yeah, I think he might have a cameo in the new one. I'm pretty sure he popped up in a cameo or something, or maybe he died before that. I think he died. Fairly
Gotcha.
early in the 90s.
Wow.
He was speaking of Mars Attack. He was in Mars Attacks.
He was. Yeah, he was the fucking.
He was
dad.
he was Jack Black's dad. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the trailer trash dad.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
Wrapped it around. Yeah. So I didn't remember any of that shit. And then Bruce is just right on screen. He's like he say Eureka or whatever, or like what did he say I forget what his line is.
I don't know.
Eureka and such or some shit like that. He has like a very Brucey line. Like,
No,
Yeah.
he says you read me and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you read me. I thought you said Eureka and all that.
No,
Okay.
you read. No, the Brucey line that I think of is where they're like, "How's the volcano?" He's like, "Acting very much like a volcano."
Yeah.
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 The
His
place
whole
is
little time
rumbling
on
and-
screen,
yeah.
the whole time he's on screen, he's Brucing it. Like
Yep.
he's like
He's just
he's
Brucing
just
it.
being Bruce.
Yep.
But unfortunately we don't get that much Bruce.
No,
We get about 3 minutes of screen time, if even that. So
roughly 2 short scenes. The
Right.
phone call scene, and then he goes searching for his friend
Jeffrey. Yeah,
Jeffrey.
so the whole
He's
point
less
of
quippy there.
Congo, the reason Bruce is on screen even is he works for a company called Travacom. I did. What
Is
a
it
name!
really called
They
that?
really didn't try for that at all.
No.
The
What's
guy's
your name?
is
Travis? Travacom.
and
Yep.
he's the CEO of. I have
Yeah.
to double check that. I don't.
You don't think
that's
that's
what it's called.
what
It's called
it
Travacom.
is?
God
TC.
Almighty, it is.
TC. That's what it's
the
called.
Fuck! I see it. Travacom.
That's what he called it.
That's
And I guess it's
just-
a telecommunications company.
Well, let me ask you
Northern
this:
Fiber
is that what
Optics.
it was called in the book? Because I don't remember.
I've never read
Oh,
it.
I
that's
don't
a
know.
Good question.
Because if it was,
I actually thought about looking
Then
up like a
it's-
book
yeah.
versus movie video and just never did.
oh my god, don't. Michael Crichton book. Michael Crichton movies are way better than the books.
Yeah, I've
He
got
comes up with a
Jurassic
good
Park on
premise.
Audible, and I've
Yeah.
kind of listened to bits and pieces of it, but I've never actually made it through because I just really do not like John Hammond in it at all.
No, you won't.
Right?
Yeah, he's a
kind of a
fucking
douche in the book.
dick.
isn't
He's
he?
Yeah,
not
he's
kind
a
of a
dick the whole
douche.
time.
He's a full blown
He's-
ass.
Yeah, he's
the
fucking
douche,
evil.
probably.
He's mad scientist.
So is he more of
Yeah.
he's more of a mad scientist? Yeah.
Yeah, he dies
Makes
in
sense.
too. Like he gets eaten by compies at the very end and shit.
I always felt like he should have died in the movie too.
No, oh my god,
I
that would have
mean-
been.
It would have
It's all
made it
his-
a
it
very
was all his
Frankenstein
fucking
sort of
fault.
metaphor.
I spared no expenses, but you hired this piece of shit fucking
Hired
web
Newman.
designer or whatever the fuck he was.
Fucking hired Newman.
We know
He
you're
got
cutting
I guess he
corners.
I guess maybe
Hammond.
that's his price pay. He had to live with the guilt of what'll happen there.
Nah, we saw the second one. Oh yeah,
he was
I'm
very
saying that
tearful.
John Hammond did nothing wrong, but if he did do something wrong, he wasn't feeling no guilt about it.
Yeah.
I would say he felt responsibility, but responsibility and guilt are not the same. He felt like he had the need to take care of it, but he didn't feel like these deaths were on me.
True.
Although the second one was a couple of years, so maybe we just didn't see that part.
Maybe.
So I found.
I mean, I'm sure there was a bunch of court proceedings and public events where he had the least fame, like he was upset about it.
The movie
Right.
John Hammond wasn't a feigner. He was genuine.
Yeah.
That was his problem.
So the movie did change. Congo did change the name of the company
Ooh.
name.
Ouch.
What
In
was
the
it?
book, it's called Earth Resource Technology Services Incorporated.
That would have been so much better.
It at least would make sense.
Yeah,
or
but
I guess Travcom makes sense. It's
Oh,
just
Yeah, because it's a communications company. It's not like the
Just
company
silly.
was different in the book. What was the like? At least Travcom sounds like a communications company.
that's true.
Was it also a communications company in the book?
This technology
Oh,
services.
What'd you say? Earth
Technology
Research? What?
services.
Earth
That's a mouthful.
Resource. Yeah, it was. It was a mouthful. Earth Resource Technology Services Incorporated.
So
See, that
the
sounds
reason
like-
they're
that sounds like the people that would work for the Travcom company to get the stuff back.
Yeah. Oh, and in the book, they are the people looking for the city. So it sounds like
Okay,
they probably
so-
deviated from the book.
but in this, they're in the
That's fine.
jungle looking for diamonds. They're trying to find pure diamonds
Yeah.
because
Like
they're
as
wanting to use
pure
them
as
for
ever,
their fiber optics lasers.
Yeah. Which Bruce gets to experiment with. He just like shoots a plant with it. He's like, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's enough
if I
to work.
want to,
Yep.
if I wanted to, because this at least is something like I know lasers. I can talk about lasers. I at least know like this is the one time I've watched a movie where I can at least like that's what I do is lasers. So that's not how they work.
That's not how
you can't
that's not
do-
how it works.
Listen,
and lasers don't use diamonds. Use crystals.
let's not
Crystals are what power
Oh,
lasers.
let's
Right,
not
yeah.
pretend that the
Diamonds are freeze rays. Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. If you want, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, as part of my training, you have to understand that the Mr. Freeze technology.
Right.
We're not trying to freeze stuff.
We're not. We're trying to create lasers.
Yeah,
trying
but
to- you're trying to
let's
burn
not
dummies.
pretend that the 90s didn't do that with all sorts of
No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
This movie's bullshit. They shot a goddamn laser from trees. They had me sold up until the fucking lasers. Shooting these mutant monkeys. I was on board.
Oh, how
They're not mutant, they're inbred.
sweet
Inbred.
would that have been if he had gone down? Like if we got to watch him go down fighting those things with lasers.
Well, first of all,
Aw.
well, yeah, if he's the main star, but I think giving away
Right. Yeah.
giving it away at the very beginning would be a little rough.
It would completely
Yeah.
depower the
So-
monster of the movie.
And they
Yeah.
were very, very careful not to show the gorillas until they were goddamn good and ready.
right.
They did.
is
Now,
true.
I'll bring it up later. There's another movie I watched years ago that came out around this time. It does the same exact thing with. Again, I guess the 90s were big about gorilla monkey movies because there's one I
Yeah.
watched around this time with Ron Perlman.
Uh-huh.
It does the same exact thing with the fucking gorillas in it.
Really?
And, yeah, the effect they use when like the gorillas are like attacking and like it's all like
blurry,
like
motion
blurry
blur.
and shit like that. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a movie called Primal Force
I wonder if they ripped
with
that
Ron
off.
Perlman that does the
Primal
exact same
Force.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not a
it's-
fan of
it's-
Ron Perlman.
Because that was the
Really?
only time
This
they
is really
did that.
solid.
Really. I don't like
Oh
him.
man, this was great.
I don't
He's
like him as a person. I mean, his acting's okay. I just don't like him as a person.
Well, that's
This movie's
fair.
great. It's like 90s cheese. It's
I
like
was just saying,
he's hired by this real estate firm to go like expedition on an island. They're going to buy an island, and their plane crashes, and apparently it's like a government research base where they made like army monkeys.
Huh.
They were
Oh,
apparently
that's-
government was experimenting on gorillas to make them into like the next super soldiers.
Oh, that's a
And
cool
he's
idea.
got like he's got like a double barrel like shotgun. They like one hands, and he's just a badass in it. And that's like the first Ron Perlman movie I think I ever watched. It's called Primal Force. Super hard to find. I've looked for it for years. Can't even find a VHS copy of it.
You
but-
can't find it.
I'll tell you, the first movie that I ever recognized Ron Perlman as any sort of an actor that I saw was Blade 2.
That's a good one.
So
That's a good one. I think the first time I remember seeing him was Alien Resurrection. That's probably the first time. I
Oh,
watched it. Or at
yes.
least
I take
that's
that
the
back.
first time I watched it. And I seen him, and I was like, man, who is that dude? Because he was like so
He-
cool in that movie.
Well, he's the only cool
Oh.
character in that goddamn thing.
yeah, I like the wheelchair guy. He's kind of fun.
That movie is such an abortion.
It's all right.
No, it
It's
isn't.
a fun one. It's a fun one.
It
It's a
isn't.
fun one.
It's not.
Okay, well,
Up until the end. Up until the
No,
end. 'cause I
no,
don't
up
like
until the
I don't like
beginning.
the fucking.
I will build you a bridge. It is funner than Alien 3. I will grant you that.
Yeah, Alien 3 is.
Alien 3 is
Rough.
5 miles of bad road, but it's a better movie.
I just
Man, there were so
no.
many good ideas behind Alien
It's a better
3.
movie than Alien Resurrection, but Alien Resurrection is much more of a popcorn flick.
Mhm.
Alien 3 had so many good ideas that they just like did not do. Like there was like leading up to production because that movie got filmed without a script. There was no script when they shot the movie.
What? For Alien,
Yeah, there was no
3?
script. Yeah, Alien 3, they had no script.
Why do
like,
people do
the
that?
script was like coming in as they was like, because it was originally going to be totally different. Like, if you're reading interviews or watching articles, like no one knew what the hell they were supposed to do. Like Ripley was supposed to die at the beginning,
Yeah,
and they
that
kind
would
of
have been
changed
better.
that
I would have
around.
preferred that.
Michael Biehn was supposed to be in it, and like right before they started shooting, they just told him no.
Oh,
He like sued them because they showed his picture on the computer screen at the beginning.
Yep.
So he ended up suing them over that.
good.
much money you get out of that?
rights. Yeah.
I hope he
don't
got it
know.
all.
I know it was a successful suit. Like, it was successful. The lawsuit was successful.
Well, fuck yeah, it's successful. Fuck you guys. But honestly, while it sucks overall for the story, I'm glad he wasn't in that movie.
Yeah.
Like the dude is a phenomenal actor. I wish he'd get a chance to get back into some stuff. I really wish that sequel to Aliens with Neil Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp.
I wish that would have.
yes.
I wish that would. I wish Ridley Scott would fucking just drop dead so we could move on without him. Good God.
Ridley Scott's got to pull his head out of his ass.
Dude, he used to be like one of my top 5 all-time favorite. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, he's too philosophical and deep now.
Oh, what a prick.
I just need better sequels to Aliens because that has got the baddest bitch I've ever seen in it. Oh my God.
Save it. We're gonna be doing that.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
right now we're
little.
talking about Congo. We're trying
We're
to.
trying to talk about Congo.
We haven't got
Where
past
are
the
we
first scene
at?
on Congo.
Where are we at with this?
You did this, Ty. You said you wanted us to go
Morbid.
off on more diatribes, and here we are. Welcome to Cult of Lore, motherfucker. That's how this works.
Condos.
Where are we at?
Speaking of condos,
So
speaking of Congo,
Congo. Speaking of Congo.
Yeah, Bruce shows off they found chemically perfect diamonds. Nowhere else in the world can find them. Apparently overnight it's going to make them the #1 telecommunications company in the world.
Life
Dr.
changing.
Ross calls up Travis, who comes in. She's scheduled a video conference with Charlie, who is a Bruce, and he wants to have his business partner there so they can reveal this to Travis, and they both get all the glory and the everything they deserve from it. Tells 10 minutes. Bruce is looking for his friend. He finds his friend. His friend's like, "Hey, come here. I got to show you something." Dives into a pool. I always liked this when I was a kid. Like when I watched it was like the little entrance to the little lost city. So they dive into the pool. Then there's a whole fucking city behind this like wall.
Yep. Just in the
this whole lost city. Yeah.
Yeah, but would you really, if you were in the middle of the Congo, would you really just jump into a random pool of water?
Nope.
That's what I always wonder is like how he found that, which I guess maybe it was because like the pool he jumps in. If you look in the back, because I was looking at that earlier. I guess it's because you can see like some light coming through.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he's like super curious. Like, wonder what's behind there. But
even still,
I would have probably tried to look around it or
out
over
in
it.
the middle of the fucking Congo. I mean, he's adventurous.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
I guess,
Not me. I'd be like, what hotel we staying in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of the jungle.
We gotta see if I can get an Airbnb out there. Or...
Oh my God.
And this is where the movie takes its turn because he's showing him the jungle. Bruce is telling him like, "All right, get your stuff. This is great, but we gotta call with Travis, and we're gonna show him the diamonds." And the guy goes off. Bruce sits down and have himself a Crunch bar, and which I was thinking, wouldn't that thing be like soaked? Maybe not.
It was in a wrapper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Crunch bars have an outer paper wrapper, but their main wrapper is aluminum foil because I believe
back in the 90s, we had the aluminum.
Yeah, so I think even because I think they were designed to go overseas and stuff because they were very popular.
Yeah,
so,
I always remember seeing
it would stay dry.
Movies. I don't know, I've
Maybe.
lost all faith in this film.
It's not
after that. After the Crunch bar and stuff.
Like chocolate doesn't get soggy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but hot water will dissolve it.
Yeah, it would probably be melting anyway already in the fucking Congo.
True. Yeah, I guess it would just be like a limp package of mush at that point.
He'd be scooping it with his fingers.
Yeah.
but
he's enjoying his Crunch bar.
I have ate a Crunch bar that way.
Yeah.
As he's enjoying his Crunch bar, he gets hit in the back
by an eyeball.
And he turns around and it's his friend's eyeball.
Yep, he's scooping up a bloody eyeball. Now.
And you know what?
A bloody fucking eyeball.
I'm actually impressed with how violent this movie is for being PG-13.
Right.
Yeah, it does push the envelope a lot. I guess the 90s were a lot more lax.
Yeah.
Probably not in the 90s, but if I watched it when I was younger, it would have given me nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
The eyeball.
Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting. Like you watch movies through different eras, how lax and the things that flew for ratings back in the day, and now like where we're at. Like I honestly, I
fucking smoking, just
Yeah.
smoking in this movie. Now that's rated R.
right.
like I say this all
Yeah.
the time. Like Army of Darkness, had they cut out the F-bombs, that movie could have been marketed to kids. I stand by that. I think
you'd
that
have to
movie
cut out the
could have
titties.
been like obviously the titties and the F-bombs, and probably that first blood geyser. If you'd cut those three things out, everything else could have been the same, and it would have passed as like a 80s kids movie, because fucking 80s kids movies were goddamn terrifying. Like like Gremlins and Gremlins 2 and shit like that.
It's because parents didn't want their kids to be pussies when they got bigger. So they're like, we need to expose them to a little bit of shit a little bit earlier.
But I mean, that
Yeah.
dude's face was coming off in Army of Darkness. Like that was a pretty gruesome like character to have in there. I think you'd have to.
I don't
cut
know.
that out.
I mean, man, like even in
No,
fucking
he's
like
pretty
Little
cartoony.
Monsters, yeah, like Beetlejuice and shit like that.
But
I mean,
he's all slicked in blood and stuff. Like, yeah.
Beetlejuice, they have like a suicide victim in there. Like, I mean,
I mean,
I feel like I got one with a slit wrist,
And they pointed it out. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
they-
like I feel like that shit flew. But I don't know. I feel like even Army of Darkness got past the kids movie. Just cut out the F-bombs, the titties, and that first blood geyser.
You're probably right.
Maybe
They
instead
probably
instead
just
of
checked
maybe instead of the blood geyser, it's like a geyser of like green goo. You would have had yourself a
Yeah.
kids,
Well,
a PG adventure film right there.
if
You
they
mean
would've changed
Gak?
the color.
Yeah, it has
Guys
to
are
be
a
Gak.
gack.
Just a geyser of Gak.
Gak was a
geyser.
little bit later after Army of Dark. No,
They
probably
could have
not.
pioneered Gak, if not. Yeah.
What did they? What? But before they came out with the Gak, they had the slime, the Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they.
Did
called it.
anybody
Oh,
remember
yeah.
what that pizza Gak smelled like? Did anybody ever have that? That stuff smelled
No,
fucking.
I never had Gak. I hated
Pizza
gross stuff like
Gak.
that. I hated
Yeah, they
slime
had
when I was
Gak
a
that
kid.
had like different smells to it. They're supposed to smell like food, and Bailey's looking at us. Do you even remember what Gak was?
I don't know what any of this is.
Okay, Bailey's looking at us
yeah.
like we got
Gak?
lobsters.
Yeah,
So-
it's because we've transported ourselves to the 90s.
The early 90s.
So I was born in '96.
So
Yeah,
this
you wouldn't know
was
what
So
Yeah,
Gak,
no.
Gak was
Time.
it came in like this green plastic container that looked almost like a sewer container, and it was a green just gelatin and slime that you could play with.
Do you know, like the kids today make the slime stuff?
Yeah.
That's basically what Gak is.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
This was
And
we
they
didn't
did-
have
they
we didn't make our own slime. We
food
get
scents.
buy it.
Well, we didn't know how. We didn't have
Yeah, we
YouTube
didn't know
back
how.
then.
Yeah, we
so
didn't-
instead, they sold it to us for $25.99.
And it would fucking stain everything.
Oh
No
God.
So you could push it down in the tube and make it fart.
Yep.
That's all we needed in the 90s. That's all you needed to be entertained.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I remember pulling that shit out and smacking people with it.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I
And
never wanted
throwing
it.
it at
I
a
don't
wall
like
or-
gross stuff. I don't like slimes.
Nah, you reserve that for your movie taste.
Do you know what
Yeah.
silly putty is, Bailey?
Yes.
Oh
Played
yeah.
with a lot of silly putty too. That was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah, I like silly putty.
Mhm.
I would stick it to the newspaper funnies and peel it off, and there'd be the
Just
the
because
cartoon on
just
it.
because I heard this today. I was listening to a podcast and they mentioned something that I hadn't thought about forever. They were mentioning pogs.
pogs.
Oh my god, I had so many pogs.
I wonder if there were Congo pogs.
Pogs?
Will you quit
Maybe.
distracting us, Ty?
Is that the same thing as Webkins?
I even had a pog maker. It was like a machine that you could just stick cardboard in and then a sticker, and it would make a pog
Okay.
Not
for
the
you.
same
What
thing
am I
as
missing?
Webkins. Okay.
No, so pogs were these little cardboard tokens that had different pictures.
Yeah.
There were different themes for decks, and you had what was called a slammer, which was a pog, but it was thick rubber, and you built and you like stacked your pogs, and then you slammed them, and whichever ones landed a certain direction, you could keep those, and that's what your score was. I think. Christ, don't quote me on this.
But they are.
I never
different-
played pogs.
Oh
I had
my
a bunch.
God,
I
okay,
never
I've
once
seen
played
those.
it.
I just
That's
didn't know
about
they
what it
were.
was. I mean, usually
Yeah.
like the slammers were like almost like a poker chip.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
regulation, they had to be a certain weight and stuff like that.
Huh.
And then like when you played with your friends, you took the one's home that turned over. Like everybody puts in 10 or 20 or whatever, and you take turns hitting it, and then the ones that flipped over, you get to take home with you.
There you
Right.
go. See,
Okay.
I was like,
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never once played them. I had like tubes of those fucking things. Never once played pogs, but I just like the collecting aspect of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I had
well,
shoe
yeah.
boxes full of those things.
Shoe boxes. I had those fucking little pog tubes.
How long could they possibly last? Though?
Not
Aren't they, like,
not great.
cardboard
They were
pieces?
for kids. They didn't last a whole long.
Yeah, they were super cheap too. Like you get like a big tube of pogs for like $5, and it'd be like 100 fucking pogs in it or some shit. But they'd all be like generic and shit. Then you go get the licensed ones for, $2 or whatever for a pack of 20. They'd be licensed to like random ass movies or TV shows or whatever.
Huh. Interesting.
But
So Bruce Campbell gets an eyeball thrown at him, and then
and
Turns
then
around.
Turns around and
screams
screams.
at something.
At the camera.
right,
And now it's time to move on to the quality of Campbell.
Basically,
Let's talk a little about Congo. We'll talk a little about Congo.
I'm
So-
kidding.
Did you guys hear Ernie Hudson change his fucking accent?
No.
There was a couple weird times he said weird
Yeah.
shit in this movie.
Like,
Really?
I feel like when they first met him, like his character, he did that. I think they shot that early, and then somebody was like, "Yo, you got to just knock that off."
Bro, like there's one part when they get into the ancient city, and I rewound this. I had to hear him say it because I didn't know if I was like just hearing shit or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But they walk in the ancient city, and there's like all these cracks in the floor. And one guy's like, "What are these cracks?" He's like, "They're lava tubes." Like that's what he says. He says it like that. And like I rewind him, he said, "They're lava tubes." Like he says tubes weird.
he talked like I don't
He's
know. I
like-
guess maybe he was trying to do like an African accent or something like that.
I
No,
guess
most
he was
def-
trying-
I think he was
most def-
going for like English or something.
Yeah,
like
was
I
saying
have
most
no
definitely
idea.
not African.
But I definitely like I heard what you were talking about, especially when we were watching it last night, because I was listening to him and I'm like, what?
It was like he kept like bringing up his voice at the end of certain words or something like that.
That's what it
just
was.
fucking weird. It was
That-
weird.
That's
but
what
then
was
he would
that
just
lava
stop
tubes.
doing it and just start talking normal for a little bit.
That's what was that lava tubes line. Like I had to rewind that. I just had to hear him say lava tubes. Like he's like lava tubes. Like,
Lava
like,
tubes.
what are you trying to do here, Ernie?
I don't care. Still my favorite. Still my favorite character. That
He is
that that he's
awesome.
played.
Yeah.
I
So-
love Monroe.
So just like a breakdown of what Congo is. So after this happens, so Bruce dying is the catalyst for this whole story.
Yes.
So
it's what
Bruce does have
kicks
a pretty big
everything off.
part.
No,
in
I'm
the
pretty sure.
movie.
I'm pretty sure they definitively say it was the diamonds by the end of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because what's her first name? Dr. Ross?
Kate
Karen.
Ross.
Kate-
Karen Ross.
Karen.
Ross.
Karen even tells Travis, if I find out that you sent me here for the diamond instead of Charlie, I'll make you sorry. And she does.
Yep.
She
Oh,
is
yeah.
not happy with him.
She moonrakers his fucking satellite.
She fucking moonrakers him from fucking the Congo to the
So-
space.
So can you imagine like all the Earth's governments just being like, "What the fuck
the
was
fuck
that?"
was
happened?
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Yeah, this
shit.
fucking this bitch in the jungle's got a weapon of mass destruction.
They're like,
satellites out of the sky.
They're like, yeah, they're like, where did that come from? Where did that come? Africa? That came from fucking Africa? What did
Oh shit!
Who gave him fucking lasers?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can, every time I see that scene, I can only imagine like the world just going apeshit. Like,
Every
what the-
government just
Yeah.
lighting up.
They-
Like, whoa.
They've effectively made a weapon of mass destruction at that point. Like
Yeah.
they can take out entire government satellites at the
When
you
they
know,
tried to, like back in when was that when the U.S. tried to fake that they could do that from
Oh.
space? It was like Operation Star Wars or some
Project
shit
Star
like that.
Oh
Wars,
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
tried to make the Russians think they could do that from space with
Like-
satellites.
Oh my gosh.
Well-
Just to bluff them. Like, yeah. Don't fuck
Somebody's
with
been watching
me.
too much Congo.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
Diamond lasers.
I
Fucking
didn't even the
shooting
first time
satellites
I
out of the sky.
watched Congo, I didn't even realize that's what that was. I thought she just like blew up the diamond and I'm like, "Oh, that's so romantic." And then we watched it last night and I went, "Oh, that's not what she did."
She
Um,
shut down a fucking satellite.
She literally
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's
Which completed
bad.
a terrorist act.
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, I'm going home now.
Yeah.
No,
like,
no,
no.
You're on a list,
no,
honey.
Interpol's looking for you.
Ursa, this was before 9/11. Our definition of terrorism was very different back then.
Yeah, I guess.
She's
She-
on a list now. It's not good.
She was fucking some shit up throughout this movie, though. Like, she was like
Oh yeah,
anti-missiling, like,
She is a main actor. Yeah, she's a woman of
She
action,
works
which is
just
very
like
rare.
Worked for the CIA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
well,
boss.
they hint that
Former CIA
Yeah.
operative.
Trevor Common plays better than the CIA.
Yeah, because like he even tells her like Travis tells her like we're sending you out because you work well in the field. And he mentioned something about you did great in Panama, which I assumed was something like she had to get a little wet
Right.
to do that. So
Yeah,
a
she's
little
shooting
wet work
guns
for the
and
communications
flares. Yeah.
industry, which from what I understand, the communication industry is pretty dangerous. Like when it gets to stuff like this, because I mean you're putting communication lines through some pretty dangerous places.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
obviously, I mean, imagine, lineman's a dangerous job. I mean, that's not, I think they have to like go through and like clear out like civilizations and shit,
Oh,
like
God.
villages and stuff.
Wow.
I mean, like to get this stuff going.
No
Oh
kidding.
man.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous shit. I remember like even like in the 80s, like the fiber optics lines they put in like the ocean
Uh-huh.
was pretty dangerous because that shit attracted sharks. The electrical currents of it would attract sharks.
Ooh.
Which
So
is-
these fiber optics lines would become like feeding frenzies.
I
Oh
feel
my
like
God, really?
I feel like that's
Yeah.
just a sign that it shouldn't be there. Like dangerous things are going to happen to you if you try to put that there. So just leave it alone.
Well, see, the
I
difference
don't
is
know. I
we're
think
fucking
it's-
humans.
Yeah,
I think
I
maybe
think
those
it's
sharks
worth the
shouldn't
risk.
fucking be there.
Yeah.
That's
I was
Fuck
gonna
them
say,
sharks. I need
overall, it-
faster internet.
yeah. I got to make a goddamn phone call. Fuck those sharks.
It needs to be faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, welcome to America, bitch. Blasting sharks with a goddamn laser rifle.
Oh my God.
AT&T,
love-
how may I connect you?
Oh, jeez.
20 sharks
Yeah.
died for your call today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the-
anyway.
One's still twitching a little.
people wouldn't give a shit as long as it's not dolphins. The minute you start saying it's killing dolphins, then
Right.
then-
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're, our entire reaction would have been different if dolphins had been the example. You're
Yeah,
right.
true.
Fuck them dolphins.
Yeah.
Except for Ursa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do what Peter
I eat
Bensley did to
non-dolphin
sharks.
safe tuna.
I'm going to do what Peter Bensley did to
He's
sharks.
like,
I'm
I
gonna
want
make-
to eat the rapist of the sea.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want any competition.
I'm
for
going to make the
intelligent
dark.
animals.
Add this to the list, Eric. We're going to make the dark, gritty reboot of Flipper. And we're going to while we're over at Bulgaria. We're going to expose these.
You
bottle
find
noses.
you find out that Flipper has broken out of the aquarium after a
Yeah.
long, sordid history of sexual assault and brutalization.
Yeah.
Flipper is
Yeah.
flipping pissed.
Oh no.
Yes.
No.
There we go.
It can't happen. No.
We're
and
gonna-
then
we're gonna
and
do it.
then and then what we'll do is Flipper versus Uncle Sam.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Expand the universe.
There we go.
Shared
Expand our
universe.
the BCU, the Bulgarian Cinematic Universe.
The Bulgarian cinematic universe coming to a theater near you.
It's so brilliant. I think I'm just gonna have to go kill myself.
So Congo, about the Congo
What you
movie.
got about
Yeah,
the
so-
Let's
so
talk
they
about.
use
Can we
so-
go? Yeah, no, Tyler, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Travis tells Karen, like, you gotta go to the jungle to find the diamonds, and she's like, we mean Charlie. He's like, yeah, Charlie. So he tells her, like, you gotta commandeer another flight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
comedy
like
or
take
She
over
has
an
to, she has to find a place, somebody that's already got everything planned, so they
Yeah.
don't have to waste time.
As luck would have it.
Yeah, as luck should have it. The most boring fucking person in this goddamn movie, Dr. Peter Elliott. I don't know if it's a character or just this guy. This fucking Dylan
Yeah,
Walsh guy.
I think it's the character. After they get shot down in the plane, they fucking parachute down, and he's like, "Look, I'm in over my head. I'm just gonna head back."
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck you want to go, guy?
I know. After
I
they've
know, I
all,
thought that too, like-
after they've already answered that question, where he's like, "I'm not doing this." He's like, "Well, the pilot and co-pilot are already gone. So what's your plan?"
Yeah, just like, yep.
So yeah, he has
Wait,
a,
well, real quick, you have in the face of such a stupid question, you have to admire Monroe's answer, though. He's like, "I'm leading an expedition into the Congo. If
Yeah.
you don't want to do that, you can go wherever."
You can go anywhere else.
He's like, "But this is a damn dangerous place, and people die here very easily. So have at it."
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that was such a good answer.
Yep.
Mhm.
I loved his character so much.
Oh,
He was
Monroe.
great.
Yeah, Monroe was great.
He
So
was great.
we meet Amy, who is a mountain gorilla that
No sign language.
Peter Elliott has taught sign language with this like digitized voice backpack glove system. Like it's basically a Power
Yeah.
Glove, the Nintendo Power Glove. You know?
yeah, it reads the motion of her sign language and
Yep,
And it can sign
then-
language, and she's just an
projects her voice
asshole
out.
and wants food and shit. Like,
Ugly lady.
Yeah.
Ugly lady.
Oh, whatever. Right up until then, she's actually proven to be very kind.
Yeah,
She
is.
is
But-
super
but
sweet.
she has an affinity to draw these like eyes,
Yes.
these like golden eyes. She keeps drawing. That draws the attention of the great Tim Curry,
Herkimer
As-
Hamilka.
Herkimer Hamilka.
I really liked his character.
I
thought
love
he
this character.
Of course you would.
Oh my god.
I love this character. It
Herkimer
was
Hamilka,
fantastic.
formerly of Romania, freeing from the chains of Ceausescu, traveling the world,
Which when he
doing
said
good.
that, my first question was, why were you in chains?
Because he owed him money.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly. Why were you in?
Why
chains
were
exactly?
why are you doing good so much good now? Not saying it's
Oh,
not
he-
good,
he's
but
just
like I
doing
got
good.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just out of the goodness of heart is going to pay for this expedition to
Oh,
take
yeah.
Peter and Amy into the jungle
Not
to return
suspicious at
Amy
all.
home
He's
because
al-
he tells her like, oh, this means Amy wants to go home.
He's also slightly racist.
Oh, is he?
Well, he
I must
almost
He almost drops it.
he almost drops the N-bomb. Yeah. Shut up, you filthy what?
Oh,
Yeah. That's right.
He
when he's
does.
And like
flashing
Monroe
with
is
Monroe.
Monroe is so calm throughout that scene too. He's like, filthy what?
Yeah.
Because he's fucking Captain America. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's
man.
ready. He's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Like he's
So-
like, I can make you disappear out here very soon.
Yeah.
So this sets off our expedition to Africa. They fly in Uganda. Well, first before they fly off, Karen meets up and she's like, I want to come. Peter's like, no. Apparently she's been like trying to organize this for a while. So I don't know what the lapse of time is here in this.
It's very
But he
short.
tells her like
Yeah,
she
she's
tells him
probably in
like
a
I'm the one
rush.
that's been sending the emails and the letters and the phone calls, and he's like, oh okay, like
Yeah. So it's probably just a
you're
matter of
the one.
days.
He's like we don't need your help, whatever. But as they're trying to board the plane, all their shit's getting taken
Getting
off. And they
unloaded.
find out that
Yeah.
they don't have the money to fucking fuel the plane.
because
Yeah, the guy
Herkimer
that
does
was
not.
the guy that was going to fund the operation
Yeah.
can't fund the
Can't
operation.
fund the operation.
Slight interruption in my credit.
So
flow.
Karen buys her way into the expedition by buying the fuel, and they fly into Uganda,
Yep.
where they meet the great Ernie Hudson
Oh,
as the Great White Hunter, who happens to be black, Monroe Kelly.
yes. His words even. Like
Yeah, I
was-
love that. He's like, I'm your Great White Hunter.
I
happens to be
loved
black.
his introduction. He's just like, I hope you have a lot of money. And she's like, we do. And he's like, great. Turns around and pulls out a pistol and holds up an entire truck.
Yeah.
And kindly asks the gentleman to step out, and they take it over. It was, I
Yep.
knew immediately from that moment on, I was like, this guy's fucking awesome.
And
I
in this
love
same scene, we have an uncredited appearance by Joe Pantoliano, who took this role uncredited.
uncredited.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, as Eddie Ventro.
Oh, that's not who that is.
Why
Okay.
was it uncredited?
Yeah, Joey Pants. I don't know why he took it uncredited, but he's listed as uncredited.
Most
All right.
people know him
And
from
and,
the Matrix.
and so is
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo, who plays the Captain Wanta, the warlord. Later
oh
on.
yeah, stop
He took his
eating
credit.
my sesame cake.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, I love that fucking line. I fucking love that line.
Everybody
God
loves that
damn, I
line.
love that line.
Stop it. I love that Tim Curry just like takes it out of his mouth too.
Well,
and
it's like,
then like is
what else are
never
you gonna do?
mind.
'Cause-
I would take it out of my mouth too.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. It's
Yeah.
like them motherfuckers are crazy.
Oh no.
That's me, Ian, and Bailey were watching it yesterday, and that's what I said. I said, you know what's funny is like this guy is the type of dude that takes machetes to people.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bro, they mix
Yeah.
gunpowder and heroin together because they think it makes it bulletproof.
Oh.
They eat
Oh,
they
yeah.
eat
He would definitely
hearts.
he would definitely buy into that shit. And we find out in this scene with where we meet Monroe, we find out that apparently there's like a civil war going on in the country, so everything's like extra dangerous. There's like a car that explodes in the background.
Right,
That
yeah,
really
it's-
wasn't
They're on their
thrown
third.
off
They're on their
right
third
away.
government in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 2 years. 2 years.
So basically, Monroe tells me if things are fucked, he commandeers a plane or a fucking Jeep,
Yep.
and then they go to. He tells Eddie to get him a plane. Eddie gets him a plane, but first is this where we meet our the warlord? Like, isn't it in between them leaving here? And
Yeah,
getting
so
to the-
Monroe steals a covered truck, which is what Eric was talking about when he
Yeah.
says, "I hope you folks have lots of money," and then
Yeah.
they get caught trying to smuggle themselves out of the
At like a
airport.
checkpoint. Somebody sees under the
They see
under
see
the tarp
Amy.
thing, and then they get captured from there, and yeah, they've run into the warlord.
But in that scene is actually my favorite line of the entire movie. They're in the truck and they're all kind of getting to know each other, and Monroe's introducing himself. It's when he says, "I'm your great white hunter" and all that shit.
Uh-huh.
But he goes, the guy that trains the gorilla. What's his name again? The boring.
Oh,
Uh,
the boring
Peter.
guy.
Peter.
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 Oh, even his name is unremarkable.
Peter
Oh,
goes.
yeah.
Peter looks at him and goes, "You're some kind of a criminal, aren't you?" And he goes, "Aren't we all?" And he goes, "No, I'm not a criminal. I'm a scientist." And the line that I love is Monroe looks at him and goes, "Scientist? You know, I run a few guns, but you sons of bitches ruin the world."
Yeah.
He's like, "Don't you fucking high nose me."
Yeah.
That
We
was
also find out too the real Holkama, whatever his name is. We find out his shady background.
Oh yeah.
As not really a
He gets called
philanthropist,
out.
but he's a like a con man basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And
he's been looking
this man
for a while.
Like, owes
Yeah, he's
people
been
money
searching for
everywhere
the
he
lost
goes.
city of Zinj.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "This man is a big bag of shit." Shake this
I will
from my
kindly ask you to wait outside.
Like,
Like, oh,
and
Yeah.
you have to love Tim Curry's reaction when that dude grabs it by the shoulders. He's like, "Ugh," because like if you know somebody like that hates you that badly,
Yep.
You might be. You're gonna be in trouble. You might be in trouble.
You're surprised. I'm
Right.
surprised he's like, would you wait outside? I'm surprised he didn't just kill him right there and then.
Oh, I know, right? Totally could
Right.
have. But
But he doesn't, and they tell him like, we're gonna let you guys cross the border only because of the gorilla, because our people are terrified of being seen on American film abusing a gorilla.
Right. And he's like, this is a crazy world we live in. Because he's like, look at all this shit we're doing. Nobody cares. But being mean to a gorilla.
Wow.
I'm sure the 4 stacks didn't.
Well,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
paper
none of
bag.
that.
The
No.
staple-
stacks of money
I always
there.
like when he gets the bag and he like staples it shut and puts it next to him. I always like that little part.
Which,
Yeah.
But-
like, did they just ask for the shittiest bag they could find?
That's
Like,
what I wondered. Like, where
bring
did they get this
me,
bag?
bring me the crumpled up craft bag from 4 days ago. I don't care if it's got spilt beer on it. Bring it over here. Like, that's
Yeah,
what
I've
we're gonna
always
put.
wanted
That's what we're gonna put the money in.
That
Like,
bag has been fucking through it. It's not like a new bag. It's
It's probably
fucking
had
been
cash
through
in it a few times.
Yeah, it's
And-
probably
and
his cash.
I
bag.
would-
is that a
Staple it
thing?
shut.
Is that a thing? Like, you just use the same. You
Well-
just get a shitty bag and just. I don't know.
I
I don't
would-
know how these things work.
I have
would
no
s-
idea.
I would submit this. When somebody like that gentleman asks you to get him a bag, you just get the first bag you see. You're not
grab
asking
it.
a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
this frees them up and they get on their plane. They get a big carrier jet and so they get shot down like pretty much
Yeah.
almost immediately, right? Like
Well, they go
start
over-
getting
As soon as
shot
they
at.
cross the border.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go they go into Zaire, and Zaire.
yeah, they get
says-
shot by
There's all
Zaire
these people
soldiers
shooting
because
Yeah.
it's the
bazookas at 'em.
Tanzanians and the Zaires who are at war.
And apparently just shooting down everybody too.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
And they're
It's
like,
like, why the fuck you flying so low?
well, they cross into a whole different basically country.
right.
Yeah. So
And,
they get shot down. And this leads to our big parachuting scene where they have to drug Amy. Or no, she's already drugged.
she
They
yeah,
drug her to
she's
get on the
drugged for
plane.
the flight because she's nervous about it. She's like, "Where's the ground?" Well,
No,
she was
that's-
doing that on the prior flight, so
Right.
they already knew she'd be nervous. Really,
Well, they give it to her when they start shooting at her because Kahega, who is Monroe's second in command, has it in his pocket. Who is actually played. Damn, I actually
Ah.
wanted to mention this actor because he's a
Oh.
good actor.
Oh yeah, he's in a lot of shit
And it
too.
was like his first movie, but I mean, his name is Abdali. Christ,
Let Eric handle it.
Is it this one?
Uh,
Yes.
where-
That one right there.
Adwali.
you
yeah,
bastard.
yeah, Adwali and Yakai Ajibai, whatever. But anyway, I knew him from the TV show Oz.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, and like more recently, I guess you know him from he was Killer Croc in that the first Suicide Squad
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Nah, nope,
Killer
never
Croc,
happened.
Suicide Squad.
Nope. No,
he was
no.
apparently in
Oh, he was
Thor: Dark
Mr.
World.
Echo in Lost. Yes, that's
Oh,
where I
yeah.
know him from. Oh,
And he was
awesome.
locked in the Mummy. I watched the Mummy Returns. He's the henchman in Mummy Returns. He's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah,
He's
he
one
was
of the action
locked
figures
on
I
the Mummy
had.
Returns.
Yeah, when I was a kid, and I had that. He was like my favorite action figure on the set was him. He's a
Nice.
big dude
Yeah,
with a
'cause-
fucking machete.
Yeah, badass
And,
looking. Like
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit.
he has.
Yeah, he's in
You know, I didn't
Thor:
realize he was
Dark World
fucking
as
Thor.
Curse.
Wow,
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
That is awesome.
Mr.
Yeah,
Echo.
he's a pretty prominent dude. And who was he in Game of Thrones?
In Game of Thrones,
Malco,
he
he
was
was in 2
probably
episodes.
in the Dorne stuff.
Yeah, he was in 2
Yeah.
episodes. Looks like.
If
but,
I- if I had to
He
guess,
he gives him
with
the
a big
drugs,
axe.
and Monroe straps Amy to himself and jumps from the plane.
yeah,
Mhm.
And this this big exhilarating jumping scene, which
Just-
I wondered why Monroe did it. I don't know. Maybe it's right. I was gonna say maybe why shouldn't Peter done it, but he can't fucking do. Probably
yeah.
holds
I
him
was gonna
addicted
say
to
say,
it,
like
so-
Monroe's like the guy I would have. He's probably like, yep, because he's very like I'm responsible for the people on my expedition, and he's
Mhm.
probably like
Yeah.
I'm just the person I trust to do this.
What to take
Mhm.
Amy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
would argue he's probably also the most experienced jumper.
Probably.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like I definitely wouldn't trust her with her caretakers, like just
Right.
in that scenario.
Mhm.
So it made sense to me.
And
Yeah.
it might also have to do with body weight. He's a lot bigger,
Yeah.
physically
True.
stronger, able to manipulate Amy, whereas
Yeah.
Peter is.
So they
Peter's
land
lucky
on,
he made the jump.
yeah.
they land on the ground and eventually meet up with this like native tribe who tell them they
Ghost
found
people.
a dead person.
Oh,
With-
yeah.
and they draw out the TC logo. They have this on it. She thinks it's Charlie.
Yeah.
They go and they tell him it's a dead person, but then Monroe tells them like this tribe has many levels of death. They're not truly
Right.
dead until they're dead, which I guess I would have understood it differently if they like I don't know. That didn't make me feel any better. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Him just telling her, like, they say that he's dead. Well, he's not dead until he's really dead. So I don't know. It was a weird way to comfort her.
I don't know. I don't know. He kind of goes into it a little bit more, where like they walk in and they're doing
They're,
the ritual.
Calling the
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah,
back with the
they're
ritual.
trying to call his soul back
Yeah.
to his body.
I think he was just trying to kind of impress on her how kind of vague culturally death was in some way that it compared to
Right.
theirs,
Because we find out it's not Charlie. It's in fact Bob Driscoll, who was just a member of the team. Which that dude's familiar. Like, he's from something.
I was
John
thinking the same
Hawkes is his
thinking.
name.
John.
Oh, he's been in a
Hawkes?
lot of shit.
Let me see.
He's been nominated for an Academy Award.
Okay,
He's
because that I had the same thought you did. It's like
2
I know
Golden
I've
Globe
seen him.
Awards. He's in Dust Till Dawn, Perfect Storm. That's what I remember from Perfect Storm. I watched it recently. Lincoln. His most notable role was in Deadwood. Apparently, he's
Deadwood.
pretty big in that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been in some shit. But yeah, I recognized him immediately. But yeah, apparently he's nominated for Golden Globes and Academy Awards and
Oh.
shit. So good on him. He moved.
Yeah, I thought I
He really grew up to
recognized
this one role he had where he is half dead and he sees Amy and
Just-
screams himself into a heart attack.
Oh,
No, they took him out of the circle.
Sad.
That's why he died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that could
Yeah,
be.
They took him out
They
of the
moved
Could
him.
be.
They did.
But he
Huh.
dies when he sees Amy. He like screams himself into a heart attack.
I know that was so sad.
Oh yeah.
Terrifying.
And poor Amy's just like, oh, hey, a person.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah,
So
she's getting a
this
little pissed off
where
at
we
this
get
kid's
the,
poking at her.
Yeah.
This is where we get one of my favorite scenes is they end up boarding the boat. They go on these little boats. They're going to like go upriver. They apparently know where this city is because or where they're tracking the laser pack.
Mm-hmm.
They have the track. That's how Karen is like taking them, and they assume it's going to lead them to this city is what Homolka is hoping. So they take these boats upriver, and this is where we get and probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie is this because you don't ever see this in movies, a fucking hippo attack. When other movies
Oh,
you know
yeah.
that have a hippo attack in it.
I was gonna
It's probably
say,
the
like,
most realistic.
oh yeah,
Yes, so they're like
I'm
going
hard-pressed
on the
to think of
river
any.
and like Monroe sees these like bubbles coming up through the water, these little bubbles hitting the surface of the water, which is the hippo being underneath the water, and this thing just like ravages these boats.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's like massive.
And like you're definitely expecting it to be a crocodile or some
Right,
shit.
right.
That's what I liked about this scene. Is
It was
they
a
were like,
surprise.
yeah, no, something even more dangerous.
It was
Yeah,
really a
That's
surprise.
really realistic because they're pretty aggressive, aren't they?
Oh, they're
When-
incredibly
yeah.
Oh,
aggressive.
yeah.
When
They're
people
mean
are
as
in the
fuck.
water. Yeah.
They kill more people in Africa than any other animal.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
That's what I thought. It's like they're like one of the most fucking dangerous animals to us that exists, really.
Yeah, they're super.
So that was a
they're
neat-
hostile as all
Yeah.
hell.
After all
Good
this
job,
shit,
1995. That was a good call. I liked that.
after this shit, they regroup and they find the camp that has been destroyed.
Yeah, they run into like their perimeter alarm or something,
And
they're like, well,
who
where's the
finds
camp?
the entrance to the city? Is it Homolka? Does he like find the entrance to the city?
Well, I think
No, I think they actually kind of all discover it together, but they actually send Kahega in first because he does that. They're like, what's back there behind all those vines? And he starts cutting his way back through, and then he comes out and says, yo, bingo. And then they all
Yeah.
kind of go in.
Mhm.
and it's because
Right.
they have like Amy, like they follow.
Yeah,
like, the
she
direction
kinda leads
said,
them
'cause
along
she's
that
from
path.
area. Yeah,
Mhm.
They discover. I think they discover a wall, basically.
right. Oh,
So
and then it's like, how do we get in?
they enter the city and like it's a lot like the first time we see it. It's like nothing really going on. It's quiet.
Mhm.
Richard, who is Peter's assistant, who
Right.
I've seen in a lot of shit in the 90s and stuff.
Yeah.
He was always
Yeah.
like computer hacker guy or eye in the sky type dude. Him and one of the other team members are like outside where everyone else ventures into the little lair, the little temple.
Yeah,
And he comes running in and his face is all fucked up. And then one of the fucking gorillas just shows up and tosses
Just a
the
fucking
severed head. Yeah, at Homolka.
Still
This was,
amazed. Still amazed. This
Yep.
is PG-13.
PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you get away with a lot of shit back in the day with this stuff.
I still.
This is a full-on beheading, a fucking beheading. Right?
Yeah. But you don't see it. You don't see the
you don't
actual
see that
beheading.
yeah.
But
but
And
you see that head.
but I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's the crucial difference. Is
You're probably right. Like
they
the
always
act,
cut before
yeah.
something actually happens.
yeah,
you always
the
see the
act of
aftermath.
violence does seem to at least in that period of time where they made this movie to be like what they were
Yeah, what they
Right.
were
Judging.
most concerned about.
Yeah.
So they all escape the city just barely. After this
'cause they're
this
attacked
monkey
by
takes
these
them.
gray apes
And-
at that point.
Yeah. And they get back to the camp, and this is I didn't understand why these were here. They have like automated sentry guns with motion detectors.
It's because that guy was like, he just sent them with like wads of fucking cash and then called people and said, yeah, like, because, remember
Right,
earlier
yeah,
they
so
were
he
like
just-
handing out like
oh yeah,
air
we missed that
Yeah, it's
scene.
like
the fucking
fans
on the plane when
and-
they're playing fucking hit the rocket. They're like shooting rockets at rockets and shit.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool
They
fucking
were
scene
hitting
from
them
the
with
plane
flare
where they're
guns,
using
yeah.
the
Flares.
bazookas.
No, it was a flare.
Flares, yeah, they were
Yep,
they were
countering
distracting the
bazooka
rockets
shots
with
the
flares.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a cool fucking
that was
scene.
cool.
Yeah, so they have several times where they use some kind of crazy technology.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's actually kind of the point is like, can the technology overcome nature and whatever? So there's some themes in there for it.
I feel like that
In
is
the
the
end,
main
we
theme of the movie.
Yeah, we see their answer, I guess, at the end, the answer to the plot. Yeah.
Well,
So they
See.
all night they like fend off these monkeys, these automated. Remind me a lot of not predator, but aliens with the sentry guns. But they fend off the monkeys,
Yep.
and then the next day they go back to the temple, and this is where we get our big expo dump because Homolka
Oh my gosh.
gets in
yep.
there and is able to
decipher
read the hieroglyphs.
Yep.
and we find these are inbred monkeys or gorillas, sorry, that were basically bred to be fucking violent as hell
Yep.
because they need to guard the diamond mine.
Yeah, they
There's
were guard
diamonds
dogs.
in
They were guard dogs.
there. Yeah, they're guard dogs. What they call them? Yeah, they
Bred
call them
to
guard
fight.
dogs.
And then they
Um,
got super inbred over time.
Yeah, they suspect that the monkeys became so violent they eventually turned on the people that bred them, and
Yeah. Yep.
now they're in the territory of these fucking things, and they attack. Right, they just attack all the soldiers.
Right.
Well,
yeah,
so after the night, they wake up and they're like, "We're getting the fuck out of here," but we have some missing people, so we're gonna go in and get
That's
them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when the whole place starts doing the rumbly bumblies, and it
Yep.
starts breaking apart. And then
Because there's been volcanic.
volcanic eruptions,
yep.
and that's the reason why the diamonds are there, is because as this volcano is erupting, it's pushing all this stuff up
From deep
Right.
into
From
the
deep
earth.
earth.
Yeah.
and then they manage to stumble their way into the mines themselves, which is actually more like a canyon.
At this point,
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, by the time the eruptions and all the shaking has kind of like broke it open.
Yeah.
And Homolka is having this little field day.
Oh,
this
yeah.
Is this is
Oh,
his
my
life's work.
God.
This is
That
his
little-
life's work.
and
which
they
I guess
notice
it-
right away that touching these diamonds gets the.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Peter even looks at me. He's like, "I'd really leave those alone."
Because he is running around grabbing them up.
And
I
these
mean, they
things,
already attacked you. I mean, they're already pissed off, obviously.
Right.
I might as well try to make some money.
Oh,
no. Well,
I'm trying to get a bag of diamonds and a rifle, an AK. Give me an AK, not no fucking semi-automatic shit. Hook me up with an AK and a backpack. I'm gonna go get some diamonds.
Well, you see how that turned out with him?
yeah. Oh yeah.
It didn't. He
It
was
did
the
not.
It
first
didn't
one
well.
they
He got killed like
he didn't have an
pretty
AK. though.
brutally.
There were plenty of guys that had AKs that bit it,
Yeah.
and they weren't distracted by diamonds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But some people got out.
because of a laser,
Some-
not because of an AK.
Some people that didn't have diamonds died, and the guy that did have diamonds died. Okay, but some people got out.
So you're
You could have got out with some diamonds.
So you would just rather be a guy that died with diamonds than the guy that died without diamonds.
Right.
No, I'd rather survive. And part of the odds.
Urs is playing the what if. What if you grabbed them and you got out? Like that's what Urs is playing. He's
Okay.
He's
Well,
playing the what if.
I will
What
tell you,
if.
what if anything could happen? That's true. But I submit you this: 100% of the people that touched those diamonds on the ground died.
That's not true. Lori got out with the diamonds.
She
used
did
it
not.
in a laser
She
gun.
didn't touch one.
had a
off the
laser
gr-
rifle, though.
She went into the back where they didn't see it, and she cracked open one that wasn't processed. I think that they
Yeah.
would specifically target you if they saw you grabbed one over the other people that didn't.
Maybe.
True.
I'll still take my chances though.
That's fine.
A fist-sized fucking diamond.
I'm.
Yeah.
I
Even
mean,
one
just
in the
like
pocket.
one or two. You never have to worry about money again.
I'm sure you'll
We'll
never
see
have to
one or
worry about
two.
money again. That's true.
kind of the good.
Either way, I don't have to worry about money again. So
That's-
I mean,
that is true.
The thing I'm thinking is
I
like
kinda
seriously,
get it.
one or two of those things would have been like crazy and valuable. Like why
Oh
did
my
he
God,
need an
yeah.
armful walking out of there? Like he really might have had just
His
as good a
greed.
shot
That was
as
his
anyone.
greed.
Yep,
That was his character. He's like,
yeah.
He
Which
probably
is
has a lot of
shame,
debts.
'cause, like,
He probably has
he
a lot of
seems
debts.
so
to make
happy.
up
I was going
for.
to say, I think his
he
life.
wasn't going to pay any of them debts.
Well, I think his life might have depended on being able to pay off.
Oh,
some of those
yeah.
debts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
you're
while
probably right.
Homolka bites it, Karen, Monroe, and Peter they flee deeper into the mine, and this is where we get our second appearance, our return
Yeah.
of Bruce Campbell. His
Yes.
corpse,
Yep.
What's
and
left
he's
of it.
holding
It's
he's
done.
clutching one of the giant diamonds, and Karen takes it, loads it into the laser rifle
Uh-huh.
that all communications companies have,
Right.
and they fucking
We would know.
they start blasting. They just start blasting
Just
their
start-
fucking way out of there.
First thing that happens is like they zap off one of the apes.
Yeah,
arms.
it's brutal. Yeah, it's fucking
it-
brutal.
It's so
got
bad.
gory quick.
Yeah,
like,
'cause
this
she's
is the
fucking,
only
like,
time that
taking
we saw
bits
it.
off.
Yeah, this is probably why they took it so easy on all the other deaths, so they could just go
Yeah.
ham on these apes.
Well,
Because
yeah.
their
So
ratings would take that easier because they're not people being.
They're not people. They're also the villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the bad guys.
And while this is going on too, Amy, she protects Peter.
Oh
She
Yep.
steps up and protects Peter.
Yep.
And
She does.
yeah.
her
Ugly gorillas.
so Peter,
Ugly,
Monroe,
go
and
away.
Actually, she's the one who talks them out of attacking them. She's
Yeah.
able to because they knew how to communicate with humans,
Mhm.
right?
Well, you'd have
Right.
to.
So
you'd have
she
to,
was able to. She was actually using like sign language and stuff like that. to
They had
get
never
across
encountered another a gorilla friendly to people that could also do
that.
that.
That could also
Mhm.
talk to her. Yeah,
Right.
And then
yeah,
also
talk to
they were smart enough to realize she was also talking,
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
like not just able to communicate, but like she
They-
had a voice.
yeah.
That
yeah,
was freaking them the fuck
So
out.
they were
yeah,
like,
they probably
"Okay,
should
that's
some
your
kind of like
mother."
deity or something like that.
They
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
did think that she was some kind of.
What
Oh
the
my
fuck?
gosh, yeah. And then she gets down and like puts her
Yeah.
arms around Peter and protects him.
Yep.
And my favorite line ever is Monroe's maternal instinct. Long makes you win. Now let's go.
Yeah.
He's like, they don't know. He's like, don't know what to make. Like he explains it very quick, but he's like, what the hell are you doing anyway?
Oh my God! Wait, I am going to very abruptly rewind us to one of my favorite Monroe moments in this
Do
whole
it.
fucking movie, and it's when they first encounter a regular gorilla out in the wilderness.
I run away.
And he has this whole standoff, and he just not Monroe, but Peter.
Peter.
This was Peter's big moment, really, in the whole fucking movie. to be
Yeah. Oh
honest,
yeah.
where he
Yeah, this is
stands.
a big brave moment.
He knows what to do with gorilla behavior, so he, the gorilla accepts that he's there and walks away. And then we cut to this wide shot. It got down to like these close-ups. It goes to this wide shot. Monroe is gone. He's like, because he's even the one who told him,
Yeah, he's
don't
like,
run.
don't you run.
Don't you run. And then he turns around and he's the first one to pop his head out of the plants. Though,
And without
he's like,
without
good
a
work.
without a question, he just goes, I run away.
Yeah. No shame at all in his voice.
None.
He's like, yep, good work. He's like, what happened to you? He's like, I ran away. Yep. I just did. It was great. Anyway, so back to the present.
Yeah. So all four of our heroes escape. Amy, Peter, Monroe, and Karen. They escape just as the fucking temple explodes in fucking lava.
Yep. The lava
Yeah,
starts
And
coming
all
in.
the gorillas start kamikazing. Into the
Yeah.
lava.
They start diving
They
into
just-
the
I
fucking.
did,
Yeah,
I
they're
did
just
not get that part
not-
at all. They're just like running out, like
Well,
finally,
where would
sweet
they- well,
release.
So first they were in their homes were in the cliff walls. I don't know where else you
Yeah.
would go because first they started pushing each other off of cliffs to make more room,
Yeah.
True.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
and then they started jumping, but there was flames erupting out of their caves. So I just don't think they had any other place to go. And people, I mean,
Right.
if you do that with a person, you put them on a third, fourth, fifth story window balcony, and then you come at them with a gun or a knife or an axe or something, they'll jump.
True.
That is so scary.
So they escape. They escape, and then they escape safely. Karen is able to get a call with Travis.
Yep.
Who the first thing he asks is, "Did you get the diamonds?"
Yep.
And she tells him, like, I told you if I even thought you sent me here for Charlie and not diamonds. Which, bitch, how does she not know that he sent her for diamonds?
I know. It's like,
Like,
you
she
knew
was-
that.
how
knew
could
that
you
She
from
was-
the first
that?
fucking
I think part of it
scene.
was she was in denial, but part of it also she needed his money to go do the thing she wanted to do.
Now, that's
Right.
probably true. Yeah.
So she tells him you're gonna pay, and she uses that fucking laser rifle to shoot the goddamn satellite out of orbit. somehow.
Fry the,
She fucking just
fry the
knows where-
diamond
yeah.
with it.
Yeah,
along
she
with
fucking fucking uses the computer, gets all lined up.
Yeah, the
Zaps
coordinates
fucking
were in
laser.
No,
or
it doesn't
something.
fry the diamond because she has Peter throw it at the end. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I was really confused because he was like, "Do you know what that'll do to a diamond?" So I thought that was she was.
No, he
destroying
said
it, but
if
you're
you
right.
put all that, if you take all that power and put it through the diamond, he was going to say it'll destroy the satellite. But
Okay, gotcha.
So
Then that
luckily,
makes more
there
sense,
is the
'cause, yes.
nearby. They find the wreckage of the cargo plane. In there, they have a hot air balloon. They get it ready, and then they look for Amy's not there. They look over, and she is mingling with all these gorillas.
Yep.
And
Peter,
it's this little moment where Amy and Peter kind of look at each other. Peter like sees Amy's home, which I thought it was a bad time to be fucking home because there's like fucking
I know.
A volcano exploded.
Yep. They have a line.
I figured
for
at
that.
this point you should be like, no, I'm sorry, but you're coming with me. Like I don't know.
because it is a throwaway line basically. But Monroe even says like they know what to do because that
Yeah.
volcano's been there forever.
Yeah.
Right. They are animals. Yeah, animals know how to do that kind of stuff. So they get the hot air
They
balloon.
flee.
They turn around and Amy and the gorillas are gone.
Yep. They just go.
And there it
Amy's
is,
home.
heartbreaking moment. And our three heroes go off into the hot air balloon. And yeah, like you said, Karen hands Peter the diamond. He tosses it back in the jungle.
Which I absolutely.
Which that
now I will.
part,
Yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely. I wouldn't be grabbing them during the whole scene with the gray
No,
gorillas.
but at that
But
point,
if she's passing that puppy off, that's going in my pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
If you say throw this, I'm like, all right, no, whatever.
But
In
in
my
one of my
pocket.
favorite
I'm
parts
with
of the
you. In my
movie,
pocket it
Amy
goes.
watches the balloon leave, and we see her smile.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the
Aw.
movie. The
Yeah.
sweet little ending of the movie. It's a sweet little movie.
It was, and she probably will do what they said at the beginning, like teach
other
these
gorillas how
other
to sign.
gorillas and stuff
Yeah.
like that. No,
And Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
yeah, there we go.
Caesar's mother.
That
So
was a
so that was
sweet-
that was
she was a sweet
Congo.
gorilla.
That was Congo here on Cult of
Yeah.
Campbell. So what do you say we go and talk about the quality of Campbell here in our next segment? Everyone cool with that?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Because I don't know how to bounce off
Yep.
that next segment. So we're just gonna go into it. I still don't know how to go to that next segment, but
let's
here, let's go for it.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
All right,
Nice.
Congo. We just did it. We gave you guys a little. We usually cut it off after Bruce, but this was a good enough movie where we stuck around and we watched the whole movie, and I enjoyed it.
And
It
who's
was good.
surprised by that? I mean, come on.
Right? Yeah. This isn't.
I would say
fucking
somebody would
Minnows
disagree.
Mind.
I don't think Ursa even likes this movie.
We don't need to know.
I mean, it was okay, but I mean, it's not
That's kind of what I
I
feel
ever
about
want to
it.
watch again.
I'll probably watch it again. 'Cause I find this to be a movie I pick up and watch every now and then, but it's nothing I go out of my way to watch. It's just kind of ends up on at some point. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm never like, man, I really want to watch Congo, but it just kind of like ends up on, and I'll sit down and I'll watch it, and I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like action adventure movies, it's not my favorite, but it's not by any means a bad movie. It's a movie,
Yeah.
which that's more like I say about most movies I like. So there's that.
No, I think that's literally the best thing you can say about literally every movie you like.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
In fact, I think me and Ian have used that very saying to describe some of the movies you like. It's a movie.
Ursa, what did you think about it? I'm very curious about your opinion.
I just thought it was. I don't like when she needs to go to the jungle and she just happens to find, an expedition going to this exact same place she needs to go.
Just like everything lining up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't like that.
It
at
is
all.
rather convenient.
I do wonder what the time lapse was though, because she's talking about like you got my letters, my emails. So to send a letter, I mean that's like a week at least, or a couple of weeks to send a fucking letter. Like,
Well, they
Ah,
work
with
for
the-
Back then,
communications
the
companies,
postal
so
system.
oh yeah,
No,
They
her-
probably shot the letter there with lasers.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say her company could definitely afford to either like bike that thing over if it's in the neighborhood town or overnight it for sure.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I guess that makes
True.
sense.
Yeah, she does work for a communications company.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything does kind of happen for a reason. But I mean, it's a movie. Like it's
And
that's
it's like
gonna happen.
they have these just stacks and stacks of cash. You can do your own fucking
Oh, yeah.
expedition. You don't need to hijack someone else's.
Well, it was
expedition.
it was about time.
yeah. And I think it was something about like
quicker
kind
to-
of like
It was quicker to take something that was already planned.
yeah. I didn't understand that either, but I don't know what the real meaning of that was, but. Yeah, I don't know why he was like, we got to find other expeditions already going. But I guess it would be like, so they already did all the pre-planning and
Right.
the prep
And
work
he-
for it. And there was
Well,
kind
the
of like,
fuck pre-planning you
jumped
need
in.
to go if you're rich. You don't need to pre-plan anything if you're rich. I mean, they took over the whole thing. They fired the original guide.
Well, yeah.
They hired a new guide.
yeah.
guy at the airport was there because of them. The guy in the hat.
Yeah.
I think another big part
No,
of it was
I don't
he
think
They
so.
wanted
literally
it to
took
be,
the whole thing.
I
The
think
guy,
he wanted it to
Eddie
be hush hush.
Eddie Ventro, though, I think
that's what it was.
they
there,
kind of
yeah.
just implied that he was a facilitator that lived there because he's like, I've been here for a long time, and he's giving.
Yeah, I know, but he was hired by the telecommunications.
Yeah, but I don't think he was there for them. I think he was a
And he
guy that you can
hired-
just hire that was there.
Well, I realize that, but I mean, it's not like they flew him in there to be there for them. I mean, obviously,
Right.
hire somebody from the area to plan this.
So I don't think that's outside.
But
the
they
schedule.
hired him. They hired Ernie, and they fired the original expedition guy. They planned the whole expedition already. They
Well-
already planned it. The only thing they didn't plan was this guy and the monkey.
Well,
That's it.
Yeah, but you have to have an actual. So the Congo is not just like some area that you can just go and show up because it's just uncharted wilderness. Like these places, you have to have a reason for going.
Right.
And
I
they
do, I
probably
wonder-
weren't. And the fact that they were harvesting diamonds without permission means that Travicom company probably wasn't fucking supposed to be there in the first place.
Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't doubt that at all. But they ended up smuggling in anyway. I mean,
I
it wouldn't have made
wonder-
any difference.
by
They
attack-
didn't need
but-
that other expedition.
They
is what
couldn't
I'm
come
saying.
up with a
didn't-
legitimate. But what story would they give the government?
I wonder too
Which
if
government? The government's being overthrown, or the,
But it
the
literally-
government's at war? If
The
it's another
government that was overthrown
They
literally.
didn't need that other expedition.
Yes,
at
they
all.
did. The government that was overthrown was literally being overthrown while they were there. It's not something you can plan on.
This turned into another Die Hard debate. I don't. They got there. They got to the fucking.
Well, I
I think
mean,
it might
so-
have.
but my thing is if you're going to be like, well, they could come up with any story to get there. It's like, oh, okay, but you could do that for anything.
What if it was Christmas?
Shut up, Tyler.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Christmas
I mean,
in the
they
Congo.
planned out
No,
the
I
entire
think-
thing by themselves. So the
I-
only
I-
reason that guy and the monkey was there was
They didn't.
Yeah.
They literally.
I wonder-
slaughter.
I-
they
well, here's
they
my
hired
thing.
one guy. They hired one guy
Here's what I
who
think.
who did everything else. So no, they didn't plan the expedition.
Eric
they hired
mentioned-
two guys.
They hired one because the what's his name?
Joey Pants or whatever.
The one that was
Ventro?
at the Eddie Ventro. He's the
Yeah.
one that hired Monroe Kelly, not Travicom. He literally says, "I fired the other guy and got you this guy." So they literally just hired one guy that knew how to do this.
Well, here's what I'm
It's
thinking.
the same
So
thing, though.
it was a
The only
what-
reason Dr. Peter Elliott was there was
To buy,
because they wrote it into the movie.
right.
That
well,
was the
what if
only
they were
reason.
just trying
you're
to keep it
you're right.
quiet
You're
that-
right, Ursa. They wrote a script and therefore there is now a movie. But you
What
literally
if they
have
were
to
trying
have.
to keep it quiet for
You-
Travicom?
yes,
What if
you
they didn't
have
want
to
to know that Travicom was coming in the jungle?
They
It's like,
literally said that. Like he says that.
She
and then-
works for the fucking. She used to be a CIA operative. Who the fuck
Maybe
cares?
that's how she knows how to talk to all these people and do all
No,
these things.
He even says in his world, he believes that he has people trying to steal his technology. So yeah, they would absolutely.
that's what I'm wondering. If
They
he was
would-
like just didn't want to be a Travicom,
But they
you know,
also
it'd
need
be
a
like
legitimate
Travicom.
reason for being there. One that was approved
Yeah.
by the sitting government at the time that had a legitimate reason for going into the Congo.
That's why I think it was because I don't think he wanted like this to be a Travicom expedition because then other communication companies would be like, what is Travicom sending an expedition in the jungle?
He even
You know, when they found the purest diamonds ever. I think that
he says that. He literally says
yeah,
that.
I think that's the point of it. Yeah, I think that's why. Like that makes more sense to me.
Well, I mean, you can say that's why all you want to.
Oh
but
my God. So now
You got all this. You got these stacks and stacks of money.
you're so full of
You
shit.
can make up whatever you want.
You literally just went from there's no reason to do this to well, you can just say any reason
Well,
to do this.
No, what
Come
I'm
on,
saying
come off
is
of
there
it.
is no reason. There is no reason to
There
hijack
is.
No, there's
another
there
expedition.
is a distinct difference between there being no reason and no reason you're willing to accept. These are not the same goddamn
No,
things.
that's not what I'm saying.
We just
I mean,
listed four.
you can make up your own expedition. You have money.
They
You
can't.
can do whatever the fuck you want.
There's no guarantee that the government would approve that in the time they need to get there.
There's no guarantee they wouldn't.
Okay, so you're going to risk $1 billion on a maybe?
They threw $1 billion at a maybe anyway.
No, what they consider to be a sure thing.
They
was-
didn't know that guy would say, "Okay, I'll do that." They didn't know that he would have the money for the plane,
it's
the
not
fuel.
Hermerk,
She just showed up
right? And they even said,
and like, "Hey, I sent you some letters."
yeah, but I'm sure they offered to pay for everything originally.
That's fine, but he obviously didn't want him to, and then he just
Okay.
happened to ran out of fuel.
Okay, and and that has nothing to do with planning to get into a country that's heavily restricted. Like I just don't. They
She
can't
was
just
already in that country though.
They weren't that. They
No,
weren't.
she
They
was in-
weren't.
it was in
They
America,
weren't in
Yeah,
Zaire.
still on the-
Yeah, she went with them from. She got them to
Oh,
Zaire.
Okay.
Yeah,
she got them to
like
Zaire.
they needed a legitimate cover story that the government had approved. I don't see the problem here.
I mean, I still do because it's just not important.
I'm
Hey, what's
just
Cult of Campbell? What's Cult of Campbell?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez. That was the.
just flinging crap at the walls. See what sticks.
quality at Campbell.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's just not important. You could make up
It's
anything.
none of it's important.
How do you
Why
watch
why we
movies
debate
with that standard, Ursa? You can't enjoy any movie ever.
I enjoy a lot of movies.
That's a
I'm just saying
ridiculous
it's just not
standard. That
important.
is a ridiculous standard to set for any script. Is well, why not just do a thing? You could write it that way. Okay, well then The Hobbit never happens. Lord of the Rings never happens. Like the most famous stories ever written never happen because you could just write them to do a different thing.
Yeah, 99% of the movies I like don't happen.
Tyler, there's no 1%. There's no 1% with that.
True, yeah, none of the movies I like happen. That's
None of the
thing.
movies any of us like happen with
A
that.
lot of my movies just kind of go off on in
Literally,
universe
if we
science.
went by that standard, there would be one movie that was made, and it'd be Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark because it didn't matter whether he was there or not.
So, did you like Star Wars, the new Star Wars movies?
Fuck no,
What did you like the part where the
no,
stormtrooper
No.
crashed in a desert and
no,
what's her name just happened to live there?
no.
How is that different than this?
It's incredibly different.
I
Wait,
don't
you're
think
arguing two. You're arguing two separate
it's-
points here.
I think it's the same thing, but I don't think it matters. It's like that's how every movie works.
No,
Like,
because
that's how-
you're arguing the thing existing versus the need for them to have it. So if you're
Yeah.
arguing that the chances of them having like this expedition that is going to the place they needed to go at the exact time they needed to go, if you're saying that the convenience of that is the same as Rey being on the planet that they crashed, I would say you're absolutely correct. Where you're wrong is the need for them to take over an already existing expedition. I'm willing to concede that it's really convenient that there is one to take over.
Oh,
Well,
it's-
that's
it's
what I
all
was
convenient.
saying.
It's
That's
all-
what I was saying the whole time. Was like,
No,
It's-
what you
it's
were
all-
saying is
it's
it
all
made no
convenient
sense. No,
cinema.
what you were
It's
saying
all-
was there was no sense that it made no sense for them to take over one because they could just create their own expedition. That's
well, I
what
mean, they could.
No, they couldn't. See, you're having
Well,
two
they-
different
well,
disagreements,
No,
and you're
I mean,
trying to claim them
they,
as
they
one.
can, they could. They just didn't. They didn't want to because they're trying to keep it secret. I mean, I get what like the guy always has money. He could have got one together at somehow, some way with all the money because money is endless.
You're
what
not.
it
You're
seems
not.
like.
But that's not even true
But
because
but
you're dealing with
he
politics.
didn't want to.
You're
He
dealing
didn't want to because he doesn't want to draw attention to it being.
Because
A
he's carried
traffic-
away. I
that-
understand
that's-
that.
Yeah, they're both. You guys.
I mean,
'cause, like,
they said that in the
with.
beginning.
Well, I agree with that, but that's also not the only reason. Like throwing money
Right.
at psychos is not always going to work. Like the guy they bribed, he's not head of the country. He's just some pissant
well, I know
general.
that.
Right.
He was just a warlord just taking advantage, carpetbag.
Right. So but trying to get into the actual country, you can't just go like, hey, I have money, let me in. Now, if it's a stable country, you might get away with that shit. But where they're lobbing people's heads off, that shit's probably not going to fly. So you need a
yeah,
legitimate
spray
reason.
restrictions.
But
I just,
that's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you're a rich company ahead of everybody, telecommunications, and you need to go in and get diamonds, you could say, "Oh, this is we're sending in research to study gorillas." Boom, you have a legitimate reason.
and then you have to come up with all the backstory, who your researchers are, who your scientists are, who's doing the study. Like you have to come up with all this stuff, but you're literally arguing that they should create from scratch what already exists that they could just take over easily. A thing to study gorillas. Like you're basically
And
arguing.
that's- I'm
That would
saying
take
it's
more-
very, very convenient.
that
That
would
was
take-
already
It-
happening.
That would take-
was
well,
convenient.
that's the
That's
example.
And then, like,
you
oh,
gave.
hey, here's this place, this expedition is going
example.
to exactly where
Yeah,
we need to go.
it is
that we
con-
need to take over.
It is convenient.
That's cinematic
the
convenience.
that's
though.
the-
That's
None
every
of that
movie.
needed to happen.
But that's the example you gave was the gorilla studying. I'm just saying you just happened to propose the very thing that they did by saving time.
I've
Like-
been on this one. I think I'm on been with this one
I just don't-
because I mean, by your life,
it was a gamble anyway.
They need to go Congo. They could have just let fucking Charlie die and be like, well, shit, we're not going back there anymore, and that'd have been the roll credits. But that's not the. I mean, it's all
No,
just
that's-
cinematic convenience.
That's
It's
not
all
what I'm saying
cinematic convenience.
at all. They could. What I'm saying is they could have went there regardless,
Right.
with or without Peter Elliott.
But it would have
Okay.
taken more time.
Right.
Is what
They almost didn't get Peter Elliott anyway.
right.
The only reason they got Peter Elliott is because
Well, then
That's
they're
cinematic
Akbar
convenience.
didn't
they-
have any money.
then they would have washed and they would have had the planet anyway.
Yeah, it's just cinematic convenience. I think.
And
that's
we
all it
wouldn't
is.
have
I mean,
had the
it's-
movie.
Yeah,
No, we still could have had a movie.
Well, yeah.
No.
I
it
mean,
would have been the movie, not the movie that we watched. Though
But then,
that's what we're
like,
saying.
how, like, how do they get out when Amy comes and like saves Peter and everything, and then like Karen can build the gun and put the diamond in there. They wouldn't have had that time to. If Amy and Peter hadn't have been there, they wouldn't have had the time to do that.
I'm not even
Right.
dissecting the movie. That once you
That's-
start doing
I
that.
honestly,
A little too deep.
I,
if you
I'm,
start changing
I,
stuff.
I could, I never would have thought this was going to be a hot point of contention. I'm thoroughly shocked.
Well, anytime you have me and Ben on the same episode, we're going to have some.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I thought
I
this more.
I mean, I absolutely
well,
agree. If you
not
throw,
this,
if
not
some-
this part.
if
Like, I
somebody's
figured
willing to
there'd
go, well, why didn't they just write a whole different script and then they wouldn't have to do that? Yeah, I'm going to argue with that.
Well, let's talk about the Quality Campbell.
It was good.
For
Why
3
we're here
minutes.
for Cult of Campbell. So we only got 3 minutes of Bruce the entire movie, but
I
it was
don't
pretty
think
good
that the
Bruce.
quantity should matter. It should be about the quality.
no, quantity
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We've
yeah.
established that before. We've gotten
Yeah.
we've gotten whole movies of Bruce that we've not groovied. So
Oh, yeah.
3 minutes. I mean,
Yeah. No, I think these were a good 3 minutes.
Honestly,
I think it was Bruce well spent. Honestly,
It was. It was pretty like it had that ashy
what they
sort
should
of
have done?
vibe. Ooh, what?
what they should have fucking done is got rid of whoever they had cast as this Peter Weller guy and had him play it.
I
Because
mean,
Oh, that would
yeah.
have
that
been
dude was
fun.
fucking boring.
Actually.
That'd have been boring as fuck. You know, like Bruce interacted with an animatronic gorilla,
Which
for
was
an hour
like,
and a half.
fantastic. They did a great job with that.
That'd been
thing.
hell. That'd
Like,
been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Then whoever they had to play this Peter Elliott, that dude was boring as hell. Dylan Walsh.
Yeah.
I
That
think
dude
the
is just
character was
had
boring. It'd have been hard
charisma.
to
Well,
figure
yeah.
that character out.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He kind of
No, you get Bruce in there and let him have some lean way with the script where he's like
I
shooting
think
off
that would have.
gorilla one-liners.
Oh my god! I think that would have changed the tone of the movie entirely.
That's true.
I
Stop
probably
monkeying
would've
around,
enjoyed it
stuff
more.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's like stop monkeying around and displaces bananas, all that kind of stuff. I'd been
He was my least favorite character, the Peter Elliott guy.
Yeah.
oh for real.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
amount of screen
yeah.
time Bruce had was still overwhelmed whatever screen time fucking Dylan Walsh had.
Oh yeah.
And it
That dude,
doesn't
he's
help
a
that
really
that dude's
cool-
penned between Ernie Hudson and Tim Curry. Like,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, the whole movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, just imagine that lineup. So like Bruce, Tim Curry, and Ernie
All
Hudson
of
for the whole
them
movie.
Oh man. Yeah.
Man.
And Laura Linney does good too. I think.
Oh yeah,
she
does
sells.
great.
She sells Karen as a pretty tough bitch.
Oh
She
yeah.
has been in some
So I
amazing
guess-
movies. She's awesome. I love her.
Oh, she is. She's fantastic. So Eric, what's your quality of Campbell?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this a groovy. The Campbell that we saw was actually like that was actually a lot funnier than I thought it was gonna be. Like, because I knew going in that he was just a small portion of the movie, and I was just like, wow, they're really just letting him loose for what time they're giving him. Like for a minute
Yeah.
there, just the flirty, quippy, sarcastic. It was fun, and then he got to hold a gross piece of human body and die. It was. I'll give it a groovy. There you go. Nothing more to say. I filled more time than he did in this movie. So.
What about you, Bailey? For your first call to Campbell, what do you give?
my first one. I'm gonna give it.
Bruce?
I'm gonna give him a groovy.
Woo.
I think he did good for
Oh,
3
your first
minutes.
groovy.
My first groovy. I think he did okay for 3 minutes, which I've never said before.
Oh, yeah,
But
best 3 minutes of her life.
I wouldn't go
Usually
that
only 2
far.
minutes.
I try not to push the 60-second mark. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I find the rest just exhausting.
yeah. Ben's got Warhammer lore to research. He ain't got
Right?
No, I liked it. I thought he was funny. I thought the character itself was just really loose and just very, very Bruce Campbell from what I've seen
Yeah,
of
for
him.
real.
Just kind of that loose humor and very relaxed and whatnot. And I remember watching it and thinking, like, oh, this guy seems cool. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought the shock he had when he turns around and clearly sees another gorilla. I thought
Yeah.
that was really well done as well. So
That was
I give him.
classic Evil Dead 2 right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I give him a groovy. I think he did all right.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a groovy as well. And man, I seeing him in that first opening, I wanted like a Bruce I don't think I want like now probably wouldn't be that great, but like back in his heyday, if he'd have been like an Indiana Jones-esque adventure flick, man, like
Oh yeah.
I watched that Peter Jackson King Kong just recently.
Uh-huh.
And they have in there that one guy who's like the A-list actor in the movie. He's the hero actor.
Adrian
Dude.
Kyle
Brody?
Chandler.
Yeah, like I was, and like he's
Sure.
like in like doing like whole like schlocky,
Kyle Chandler.
silver screen, like damn dames getting lost in the jungle kind of shit. Like I would love to see Bruce in like one of those, like just being one of those machismo adventurers in the jungle, like, you know, dashing around, fighting lions and shit like that. Like,
Well,
man, I really want to see one of those. Like, but I loved him in this. That is 3 minutes well spent.
Yep.
They had their Bruce for a small amount of time, but they used him well. They didn't let it go to waste. So we've seen movies where he's in the full thing and they've wasted him, but
Right.
this is not the case. This was groovy.
Right.
Ben or Urs, which one's
Is it my turn?
Yeah,
Whichever one.
go
I'll
for
go.
it.
I'll
Go
go
for it, Ursa.
Groovy.
Go groovy.
As far as Bruce's performance in this movie was great. I'm pretty sure it must be in his contract that he just has to be able to let go.
No, there's some movies we've seen that he's.
Well, he didn't have a contract with those movies.
Maybe, yeah. There's probably more handshake agreements on this fucking thing. Hot dog
Drunk at a bar. Drunk at a bar. Yeah.
Hot
Hey,
dog
I got
and
this
a handshake
movie.
and go home. Yep. What about you, Ben?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna say it's groovy. You get to see a nice little blend of a little bit of the stuff he can do. He plays his normal Bruciness, you know, but he does get the moment there at the end where he gets to express some real horror and shock.
Oh yeah,
And it's good to see him do something besides smug and cheerful all the time. So 3 minutes is three. I agree with Eric. It's 3 minutes well spent. So groovy it is.
they're certified groovy. This is the
Certified
year of
groovy.
certified groovy.
Congo.
Jesus Christ. This
It's January.
This is February. This
Yes.
comes out in
Oh
February.
yeah, it is
so
February.
February right now.
This will be
we
the fourth
promise.
consecutive groovy we've got this year.
Wow.
Wow, just
It's a
the year of
groovy year.
groovy. 2021 should be something groovy.
Yeah, it's because you guys stopped putting me on Ash versus Evil Dead.
We're almost done with that
Our
shit.
spirits
That doesn't
are
go against the
lifted.
groovy rating. That's a whole different
Yeah,
level.
that's just
We're almost done with that.
yeah.
Ugh.
It'll
Yeah,
be fine.
man.
It'll be fine. We got
Bring
this.
it up.
Hey,
Getting
Having a good
it
time
wasn't.
about
It wasn't
Congo.
my idea to bring it. It was yours.
Yeah. Well, we're almost done. But there was Congo. We strapped on Congo. It's certified groovy, our fourth consecutive certified groovy of the year.
Yep. And it was a
Damn,
hoot.
It was a blast. We got it.
Oh,
It was-
for
it was a
fuck's
fun
sake.
movie. Yeah.
Oh no!
I didn't mean for
something
that.
to throw.
Jesus.
Don't do it, Ben.
Yeah. I didn't mean for that. But
things are being thrown.
That's terrible.
I'm fine, everybody. I'm
It's. I think it's okay.
us on this
He's only
episode,
bleeding
or
a little
four of
bit.
us, five of us on this episode.
Yeah.
Five of us. This is
It's
probably the biggest episode we've had in a while.
fine. It
And
is.
Bailey got to
Oh, wow.
debut. She
I
got the
I
Your
decided.
first groovy?
Yes,
Yeah.
I decided. I'm so happy. I decided to grace you all with my presence today.
yeah.
She was as soon as we sat down to play the movie. She's like, "Oh, you guys are doing this one?" We're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can I be on it?" I was like, "I don't know. That's time."
I really do love this movie. I didn't realize that it was the one that you guys were doing, but I remember the first time I watched
She
it.
goes
I
to
was
say
like,
no.
this
She
is
goes
awesome.
like, no,
Right?
fucking
Like, yeah.
No,
I mean,
Bailey.
Although you are
Yeah, I
the
think it was-
ambassador here for Cult Talks Weird Shit since Ian's not on today, so you better plug it really well at the end here. So
Yes.
just remember that.
But make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook at Cult Talk Net. We keep you guys updated on there with what else is going on. Cult of Campbell is moving to bi-weekly, if not now, soon. I don't know when this comes in, but
Yeah.
it's going to be moving bi-weekly. Cult Talk Weird Shit comes out every other Wednesday for now, but maybe here in the future it's going to be coming out more. We have Cult of Lore, which comes out on the first and the third Thursday of every month.
Yes.
That's YouTube
Yeah.
exclusive to youtube.com/culttalknet.
So we
And
should
have
be
a
on
lot
episode.
more.
Should be on
lot more
episode 2 by
coming up.
now.
Yeah, episode 2 by now. We have a lot more shit coming this way this year.
Uh-huh.
This year is going to be big for the Cult Talk Net. It's a very groovy year. I think Cult of Campbell's setting the pace with all these groovies we're passing out.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
maybe this will bleed out on everything else, and we'll just have a very groovy year.
Feeling good
Our
about this
second year
year,
of
guys. It's going to be a groovy one.
We're gonna have a weird and groovy year because we've got
We
a
are.
lot of really good weird shits lined up as well. Ian's got his
a lot of stuff.
little mind going. I
Mhm.
love it.
It's a heavy slate this year, but it's going to be great. So
yeah.
I guess with that, we can let you guys go. I've been Ty,
I've been Eric.
I've been Bailey.
I've been Ben.
And Urs.
and until next time, remember, stay groovy.
Let's get into it.
Hail to the king, baby. That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.